Okay, let me put myself here. I have to move myself around because the game. I don't like be on top of too much of the art. I can't. Because I'm busy. I'm so bad at time management. That's really the reason. Like I did do something else today, and I think I finished it, but not that. What game are you playing? If you play it, like, yes, you can. This game is called Of the Devil. This is a Phoenix Wright like. So, like, if you like Phoenix Wright games, if you like Danganronpa, this is that kind of game. It's still coming out. I think only chapter 1 is out, and it's really fucking cool. Yeah, I don't. Can you eat it? Can you eat time management? Did somebody eat my time management? Is that I don't have anything? Yeah, I'll bring the game up. Yes, that's correct. Sammy cute. Over cute. Here's the thing, I personally think it's funnier to for ChatGPT asking why can't we it's outside of any context, it's interesting. This game is on Steam. The chapter 0, the prologue is available as a demo, so that's free. And chapter 1 is for sale now. It's episodic, so they're still working on the rest of the game. Ow. 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 Pride Mountain. Wow. Okay. But yeah, so if you've played Phoenix Wright games, if you're familiar with that kind of game flow, this is like, investigate crime scene, interview suspects or interview just detectives or whoever's around, get information, and then court case. We haven't gotten the court case yet. We're still in the investigation part. Hatesfield Memorial Hospital. Oh, I think we're going to go see the body, actually. If you were not a wolf, what would I be? Dragon. Dragon is the close second. Wow. Although, keep in mind, I guess, wolf does include... I'm including Hellhound in there. Which even, like, my wolf form is kind of Hellhound Luna-inspired. If you didn't consider wolves and Hellhound to be the same, then second would be Hellhound, third would be Dragon. Hi, Dragon. Only turns behind. Yeah. Whoa! Actually, Ova. Actually, though, that's not the dragon mascot I used to have was just a mascot, and actually, technically, the intention was for that blue dragon to be. Eventually, I would 3D model the blue dragon, and that would be like stream pet, or like stream not I guess not pet, but like just stream friend, I suppose. That was never, I never like identified with the blue dragon. I'd be a purple dragon. Obviously. Thank you. You're a lifesaver. And the next time that Bridezilla texts you, just turn your phone off. The chatty guy must have been due to go on break. When I do it now? Right now? I still haven't not that good at 3D modeling to do that much. Toxic Yuri Phoenix Wright. Toxic Yuri Phoenix Wright. Yeah, pretty much. When he tried and failed to find a witness's medical records, his datapad had this name blacked out. But I did see that they have Caduceus Executive 3, more expensive than David's, which means they're most likely. How did you do that? You need to hold the button to get the doors to close faster. Mashing does nothing. That's not what I meant. There were many others who arrived before us. How did you get us down here so quickly? Well, I didn't do anything. It was a nurse who escorted us. Yes, but you managed to get a stranger like him to help you with so little few words, so little information. I don't think you even gave me your name. Haven't I told you about the golden rule? Of course I have. Treat others how you would want to be treated. Wrong. Treat others how they would want to be treated. That... Jesus. Treat others how... God, she's great. She's awful. She's great. Yeah, see, you're writing. Morgan, what? See, this still is the golden rule, as if you just take out you wanting to be treated in any particular way. Treat? A treat? Huff, huff. Ah, it's the golden rule. Take all the golden run. She's great. She's awful. She's great. He wanted something. He wanted someone that he could vent to. Yeah, he wanted someone he could vent to. He wanted someone to pay attention to him, and he wanted to feel appreciated. Which meant he'd be eager to help, given the chance. Even just reading someone's mood is quite difficult. How can you know another person wants to be treated? There are no mind readers. No one can ever know anything about what anyone's thinking. Maybe not even themselves. That's true. I mean, that's not wrong. She's scary when she says it. Like, that's terrifying coming from her, but no. It doesn't matter if they're your parent, your twin, your lover. It'll always be a gamble. That is not a very comforting sentiment. Well, I think it's fun. Only because you're good at it. How did you get good at it? Same as anything. Observation and practice. You must have been observing and practicing for a very long time then. So you proceed down the hall, bear left, look for the fourth door. I'm going to open the one that says Morg on it. Oh. Hey, you're cool. By rioting, she means she ordering. Oh, you're getting a bunch of ice cream? You're one of your favorite characters in the game. Oh, immediately I can tell. Yeah, no, I'm... She's cool. Uh-huh. Oh, hey. Come on in. Don't say it out in there. Cold wouldn't be accurate. Sorry about the chill in here, but I run a little hot. And you can see my roommates never complain. Yumi Sato, medical examiner. Dr. Sato, just the lady I wanted to see. No, I didn't expect that I'd get to do. The fact that they've assigned a medical examiner and not some ad or junior means. Oh, you can just call me Yumi. And you're... Morgan. I represent the deceased. The deceased? Oh, the deceased. Asher D. Wait, really? That's weird. I thought this time slot was scheduled for a group of noble PR people who... Yeah, I know. Weird, right? Well, what the hell do I know? I'm just getting tired of hosting Megs anyways. Gotta finish typing up this report before I talk to shop. But in the meantime, feel free to make yourself at home. Talk to shop, not talk to shop. Forensic Scots, yeah. Yeah, new goal, I want a beer. Yeah, no, if she's fucking... Can I see a picture of her? Yeah. I love her whole everything going on. Medical examiner likes accessories, reality TV, and palm reading. Dislikes social media, fair, valid. Dress codes, valid. Ebooks. Yeah, oh, okay. Loves to make new playlists. Hates to throw out old clothes. Most proud of my weekly meal prep. I need to do better meal prep. Do I want to be her or be topped by her? Oh, goodness. What's this? The hospital's getting renamed. No, I guess it's some other hospital that got snapped up. Hospital renamed hospital named to thank Korea family. In a ribbon cutting ceremony held uptown today, Plata Memorial Hospital was formally renamed to the Northeastern Ikaria Medical Complex in recognition of the family's incredible generous donations over the last several years. It's the latest in the string of philanthropic efforts by the family to result in the name change after they paid for the renovations to the orchestral hall and the retrofitting of what used to be known as the Scout Arena. But it wasn't so long ago that the Ikaria were better known for drawing blood than donating it. Back for the 50s, they had a fierce reputation for cutthroat business practices that had their business rivals gone so far as to accuse them of involvement with organized crime. After the founding of Rengen Medical over 25 years ago and its subsequent sale, the Ikaria have moved out of the business world and into the upper echelons of society that are sometimes mockingly referred to as the Neobility, a generation of newly minted aristocrats born from the unique and chaotic economics of the mid-21st century and the Red Decade. When asked for her opinion on whose label her family House Ikaria at the hospital's renaming ceremony, or no, who'd label her family House Ikaria, Rengen board member Mireille Ikaria had this to say. In this country, anyone can make a name for themselves so long as they're willing to put in the work. Mock new money all you want, but the truth is that success is all about reinventing yourself, and the only ones uncomfortable with that are... Oh, we're working hard to print out the rest of your article, character by character. It's tough work, but we'd be able to go on if you just... a lot faster if you just pay a little tip. Want to drop your payment in from the jar? I see. What do I think I'm doing? What do you think you're doing? What am I doing? What am I doing? Out of uniform? What do you mean? I mean, I'm literally in uniform. Meow. Hey, this gal's cat in my head. Real chill vibes. Oh, yeah. Can I do a cat impression? I don't think I do. I really need to work my voices. I'm like, I keep wanting to try to do more distinct voices, but I think they all come up very samey. Luna. Go to bed, girl. Go get some sleep. A little bit of sleep. Just ow. Meow. Meow. Also, isn't this person talking about basically being born into money, and she's talking about anyone can make a name for themselves so long as they're willing to put in the work? Like, but you're the Ikaria. Hypocrisy of it. Good, I guess they weren't always in the same line of work. Now they're plastering their name wherever they get themselves a... Wait. They're plastering their name wherever they get... Well, they're not only doing healthcare places. There's not the first one, because they also got their name on an orchestral hall and an arena. I think they're just making a name for themselves. I think they're just trying to like be everywhere. Yeah, you know, it's so funny. You too could have a building named after you at a university. It's easy just to be a huge donor, given a lot of money, enough to like fund an entire building being built, and then, you know, super simple, fairly inconvenient. So you like the building can be in your name. It's that easy. New image. All the new ability are eager to pop up the image wherever they can, but that must go double for the Ikarias. Assuming the truth about their criminal past is anywhere close to rumors. Yeah, they're trying to just distance themselves from the cutthroatness they were doing before. Oh yeah, just some elbow grease and a small load of $1 million. Yeah, like it's so simple. Like anybody with like some good motivation, some proper work ethic, some little hard work, and like a few $1 million loan from the parents can like really make it for themselves in this world. Lots of opportunity for everybody. A lot of screens. There's got to be diminishing returns of productivity. Don't fuck up. No, there isn't. You can have as many screens as you want. All the screens, everywhere. Morgan, please. No, more screens better, always. Yeah, excuse you, Morgan. Bootstraps. Yeah, dude. Entire chat gets triggered. Me too. Every small billionaire in air quotes, every inspirational video on YouTube. Yeah, you know, like that chapping young fellow in his garage in front of the car, you know, in front of his bookshelf of all the books that he reads. And it's so helpful that he would just be willing to share how he was able to make so much money in such a short amount of time. It's just is like good work ethic, and how convenient that he's selling a package. He can just like pay monthly to him. Knowledge. You too can be starting YouTube videos from your garage. I need 2 monitors. Drawing tablet and CRT for commercials and an old video game play. Wait, sorry, you have a CRT. Zoe. You have a CRT monitor? Like in your room for doing stuff? You're fucking cool. That's awesome. Damn it. I want a new CRT. I want to get a CRT. Even just like a small one. Is your 4th monitor? That's actually such a cool idea. Yeah, that's sick as hell. Holy shit. I have 3 monitors. I have 2, like the same size, like 2K monitors, and then I have my drawing tablet. My drawing tablet oftentimes is just where I put my VTuber model. So I can always look down and see, like, or access that. I really need a 4th monitor, though. Oh, a CRT would be such a fucking badass idea. CRT stands for cathode ray tube monitor. So you know, like, you know these old school really heavy ass TVs and screens that have like the rounded, although not always, there are flat screen CRTs, but like usually the rounded glass. And whenever you turn them on, it make like a jump and like static, and you put your hand over the screen and it makes like little staticky sounds, and you feel it on your skin. Zoe, the CRTs, staple of phone to a microwave, trust me. Yeah, well, no. Okay, you gotta staple a phone to a microwave, you gotta put it above. So you need to make sure you have a room above it. You turn the TV on. Also, it would help if you could break into what's that called? CERN, and use the LHC, the Large Hadron Collider, to compress small text data into like as small as possible. So you know, email it to CERN, you'll hack into your database, then get it back, put a phone inside. No, wait, hold on. No, you tie the phone to the thing, and I think you just set the timer. The CRT needs to be on, and then you text yourself something. But be careful, because this is how you end up in the bad timelines. Of course, all great scientists drink Dr. Pepper, and then wear their lab coat and like throw their head back, laughing maniacally. God, I fucking love. I love Steins Gate. Steins Gate's one of my favorite animes ever. So good. Okay, I'm gonna BRB. And drink some more water, because I have not been drinking water, and that probably would be a good idea. So yeah. Sneaky, she's a break. Ah, Jova. Hi, Jova. Thank you, the raid. Oh, we had a good stream. Ripty. Oh, Balatro. I was playing Balatro last night. I couldn't sleep, so I played a little bit of Balatro on my phone. That's not a good idea. It didn't help me sleep. LG TV CRTC is the best. Hi, everybody. A fun little card game is a treat. Actually, that would be a good treat. Yeah. It is a good time. It is a good time to play Balatro, I think. Did you know Alice had an interest in Mythbusters and card games? Yes, look up. When do we... Oh god, yeah, no, I should do that shirt. I really should. I should just do it. There's a couple shirt ideas I wanted to do. I need to like actually sit down and like focus on it. I I've been like working a little bit more on 3D printing stuff, or like 3D printing design. I don't have a design yet for like a dog tag, but I have something that I think I have some like core idea that'll work. You know, brain stuff is helpful to turn off your phone an hour before going to sleep. Yeah, I mean, generally, no screen time before you're going to sleep is good. It is helpful, and not only that though, but like that level of thinking or engaging with things is like it doesn't help you go to sleep. Oh, a wolf tag. Well, fuck. Actually, that makes a lot of sense. Of course, it's a wolf tag. You have a friend that pre-prints a bunch of cool furry stuff. Oh, cool. Yeah, like I want to learn. I'm just trying to like do that kind of thing, or I'm thinking about wanting to do that kind of thing. I'm trying to like. I have like one design I'm working on right now, or like as like an initial idea, and I'm just gonna see where I can go. Yeah, like product keychain things. Pre-printed food healthy. No. I mean, actually, I don't know. I don't think you could do that at home. There might be some lab stuff. I don't know. I don't know much information about that. I know, no branded leash. I should get that on that too. I think like I wasn't totally sure what to do for a branded leash. Like, I should just come up with a couple designs and see how they look, maybe. And well, yeah, it would have matching color too. There also is an artist that I came across who's local recently that I am asking as well for like if we can like collaborate on something, or if I can commission them for something, but I'm not sure where that's gonna go yet. Actually, that's a good question. Why not make an LZ branded leash for your model and see what you like? Yeah, no, I'm actually thinking about that. Like the thing to do probably is to just make a like a leash texture and put on a model and see how it looks. And once we find one that looks nice, then we'll know that it's it. I know. I saw that shirts from DMs too. I know. I gotta find like actually just devote some time tomorrow or Saturday to like block out like a couple hours for, you know, this merch time. Okay. What are your favorite hobbies? I mean like remodeling, streaming, YouTube editing, basically a lot of stuff that I made my job effectively. But I do everything. I do a lot of programming, and I would love to say one of my hobbies is guitar playing, but I gotta actually get back into practicing again. No, I've done 3D modeling. Okay. Why do you have so many monitors, ma'am? You can't just you can't just ask somebody that. Oh, good question. Okay, can I do a cat impression? Oh, good question. No, I can't do a cat impression at all. I don't know how to do that. I can't really think of it. What are you, doctor, again? I'm sorry. Are y'all trying to like distract me from playing the game? Is that what's going on? Is that what this is? Wow. Wow, this is your riot. Also, yeah, the thing of 3D printing nowadays is like, to get started 3D printing, no, it is very easy, because there's a lot of things that people have already made and designed that work pretty well. So like, if you're just looking for things to print to like do things at home, like organizer things, like tools. I 3D printed a protractor because I needed to measure an angle of something. That was really convenient. You could just find designs already made and just like drag them in and print, and it just kind of works. The more challenging part is obviously like learning how to design things either in like Blender or in like a CAD program like FreeCAD or OpenSCAD, and make a part or make some design and do that. But actually, a lot of people don't do that. I think a lot of people actually just like will just buy rights to designs and then sell them. You used to do model with me CAD and do draft with me CAD. Ova, I should talk to you more. But not now, because I need to play. I need to like think about this. Okay, actually, I'm stopping here, not just because it's distracting me, because I wanted to like think about Kat's voice. But I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I have Kat's voice in my head. Ow. Man. Ah! Starspire. I will be sad if you like ever stop coming by and not modding. Oh, I'll miss being yeeted. Also cool, Edwin. Oh yeah, good question. Every quarter when they do an inventory and budgeting, they ask me if I need anything, and I never do. So I submit a blank form. But I guess a while back there was like a 1% or +1 in the spreadsheet somewhere, and no one's ever corrected on me on it. So boom, I get 4 new monitors every year. You get 4 new monitors every year. Oh my god, that's amazing. Do you ever run out of things to use them for? Yeah, sometimes. But this year I've started running 2 dramas at once, and I'm doing rote work, which just helps. I love her. She's great. Watching 2 television shows at the same time helps you do rote work. Yeah, of course it does. Of course it does. Helps me use up the screens. I see. What do you mean we've won? I'm playing the game. Are these dead bodies? One would hope so. I only meant I'm surprised to see them stored here. Is it just a backlog? Was it just higher murder rate than the public data would lead one to expect? Do you only examine bodies with the police doctor? Huh? Oh, I wish. Nah, most of my job involves confirming a COD on natural deaths for insurance adjustments. Insurers want to blame the mod for failing. Mod makers want to blame the stiff for not exercising enough. Family says a company insurance plan would pay for mods, but not a gym membership. Yeah, that whole wall there is suspected defective liver mod, suspected leaking internal bio batteries, suspected CCIC. Climate change induced complications. You can prove that climate change contributed to an otherwise natural death? Very, very rarely. If it can be proven, what does it mean for the family of the deceased? Plus or minus 14% of life insurance payout? I mean, it's most of what I do, and I don't dislike my job. It's just... so much of what I do just boils down to telling a bunch of cheapskates how to split dead man's bill. This doesn't make a homicide feel like a breath of fresh air. You won. You barely played anything other than yourself. I wouldn't have the game open. I'm playing. We're listening to our favorite music. We have our favorite toxic Yuri lead character here. So sad away. Like I often have 2 streams open at once. Yeah. Being into catch voice, a solid hippie voice also works. To be honest, I really got to work on voices. Like, I need to actually just sit and practice different voices. No, Zoe, fuck. Okay, well, I lost that game now. The wolf is fine. Please do not break your window. Is she finishing up over there? Right, okay, so what's up? Thanks for your time, Dr. Sato. My first question would be, what was the cause of death? Oh, wow. Hey there, cute android. I didn't realize it was really cute. Skin is, wow, that's remarkable. Even just looking close, you can tell. Wow, they really are warm. Aww. Still not quite human body temperature, but it's come a long way. The early gens all look flushed. Felt like they were always running a fever and then ran like it too. Even 2 years ago, the average warm android only lasted like, oh, sorry, but the circumstances surrounding this particular case call for expediency. Oh, right. So what can I tell you? I don't have a third option. Maybe don't get a third option. Who's we? Because ours is a forensic scientist. A little bit of thinking, yeah. I know, she's... The police mentioned a talk screen. Yeah, that's the thing. They had a talk screen when he first arrived. Typical diagnostic intake procedure. Based on the emergency call, they figured it must have overdosed on something, but the talk screen made them nothing, or get nothing. After he died, we performed the broadest screenings as possible. Nothing. So you were forced to conclude that this man is natural death. I mean, I didn't give up that easily. Took up blood samples and compared their makeup to what was on record in his previous medical history. And I managed to isolate a single, non-naturally occurring chemical compound that wasn't there before. What was it? Some exotic toxin from a different hemisphere? I wish. Ran through every available database we have access to, and even a few I only sort of have access to through some friends. Not only does it not match any known poison, it doesn't match the chemical makeup of any registered compound. Interesting. Was that evidence? Or is that... No, okay. Time for Eep. Good! Good puppy. Good girl. Go to sleep. Go get some good sleep, okay? I know you don't have a lot of time to sleep, but like... Get good sleep. Rest well. I hope that your day goes okay tomorrow. Drink some coffee. If that's your poison. Bam. So, a designer drug, huh? Yeah, that seems to be the best explanation. What the hell did you do, David? You said it didn't match any registered compound. What about compounds that aren't registered? Those friends of yours, private sector folks? Yeah, in pharmaceuticals. If one of them patented a new compound, a new drug, what would keep them from its formula from going on the record? In the private sector, intellectual privacy is the norm, so you're expected to protect your research aggressively. Patent first, 5 use later? Yeah. A patent would have to at least describe your compound in brief, but depending on what country you're filed in, it may be considered prudent to keep the actual chemical makeup off the record. Smart. Using international IP law as your own personal minefield. How so? Whenever you're ahead, hunt as much as you can, as fast as you can, but bury the formulas so no one knows where it's safe to walk. Anybody small and ambitious comes along and finds a new drug they're excited about, you flip up your card and let them know that you came up with the idea years ago. And you'll give them to death by 1,000 court dates if they so much as blink. Wouldn't work on anyone your size or bigger, they could punch back. Or wouldn't work on anyone your size or bigger that they could punch back, but for the rest of the field... Wow, you corporate lawyers are scary. Oh, I'm not a corporate lawyer. So you came up with a strategy just now? So it's possible this poison is actually a known substance? Something that the hospital could have it easily identified? If it wasn't considered a trade secret. Yes, unfortunately that is a possibility. I know, these character designs are really good. Also not us catching a stray with that good puppy. No, it's still not 3 seconds. You heard the good girl. Is it awkward to watching the stream before bed? I don't think so. Am I an awkward before bed stream? Well, it's funny, Hazel, because like I don't say that often at all. I'm very selective for when I do that sort of thing. If I had a clicker, yeah, if only. Actually, I don't know where. No, I actually don't know where. So you might be safe. You might actually be safe. Yeah, I'll get to good girl. Meow. Well, listen. Hold on, does this work? Does it work? Oh, it does still work. Oh, it does still work. Check this out. Look what I have. Look what I have here. Mwah. Uh-huh. Yeah, that's right. I never use that. Yes, I have a prop clicker that actually clicks in and makes the click sound like that. I made that at some point, and I never have like a use case for it. I know. It's so funny watching everybody else's minds just break from that. It's a very salient sound. It's a very sharp, salient sound that is going to get your attention. Here, can I put it back? Is it stuck in my hand now? There we go. Okay. Yes, unfortunately, that is a possibility. Still, just because a drug is new doesn't mean it was original. Does the fact that this compound had remind you of any other drug? Maybe one that's prescription only or a controlled substance? One you might know by another name, but with a patented structure? Sorry, sweetheart. It's a general depressant. There are a lot of drugs that have that effect on the body, and they all come in all shapes and sizes from all kinds of places. If the effect is unremarkable, what about its strength? Could you estimate how much of the stuff he had in his body, all told? Oh my god, I fucking just realized what she has in her. Oh, she has a claw hand. Oh, and her arm warmer too? Fuck. And like, she's got straps. She's got like a low-key Kingdom Hearts thing going on. Damn it, I want this. I want this outfit. She's so fucking cool. Oh, hand goth, yes. I mean, I think it's a glove. Actually, I don't know. It could be a biotic or a bionic because this world has like arm replacement, and that doesn't look like just a glove. I think it actually is a claw hand. I'm normal. Yes, we're all very normal. Very, very normal. Oh, dearest, no, it's a clicker. I usually use a pen as a clicker. I can't see it. I just use them on my partners now on the other side. About 20 milligrams? Is 20 milligrams a lot? Not for medicine, so this wasn't just an overdose of something relatively harmless then. No, if 20 mil was enough to crash his entire nervous system. Were you able to determine the cause of death? Well, cause of death, sure. We got that much figured out at least. Why doesn't that sound particularly reassuring? Dr. Asher died of respiratory failure. Not enough oxygen in the blood, not enough blood going to the brain. Root cause being widespread depression of the central nervous system. What would the symptoms be? What would it have looked like? Lightheadedness, followed by dizziness, then headache, slurred speech, exhaustion. Why did I slur that? Damn it. Loss of consciousness, and finally respiratory arrest. Report shows that EMTs tried intubation, then resuscitated to the electrical stimulation repeatedly. By the time they got to the emergency room, they were desperate enough to attempt direct artificial blood oxygenation, but it was too late. And you're certain of all this? Oh, well, yeah, most of it, sweetie. Most of it? Yeah, it's turned into quite a puzzle, and nice to have you more pieces to start with. I'm surprised. Oh, hi. Kenshin, thank you. I hope you're enjoying your time here. Thank you for the resub. I mean, thank you for the tier 1 sub. No, not a resub, just a fresh sub. And I think that, like, I don't think she's not a cyborg. Sarah is. Sarah's the cyborg. She just has like bionic parts, I think. And actually, I don't know, now that I'm looking at it, I think I see her actual human hand underneath. So this might be more like an armor. So I don't think this probably isn't a bionic arm, and actually this is just a kick-ass accessory that I want. I want that. Androids. Thank you. Armor. I know. I can only be so good. Yeah, she's also wearing armor. She's got the armor. She got the strap. She's got the off-the-shoulder asymmetrical shirt with 2 zippers. I like her piercings too. Oh, I need to get my ears re-pierced. I should put piercings in my model. Why don't I have piercings in my model? Wait, why don't I have that? Huh. I was surprised as a man as rich and famous as him didn't have any kind of biomes, but his files show he wasn't a viable candidate for modding. Yeah, that's right. Without that kind of first-hand tech, we don't have nearly as much data as we'd like. But he was extensively monitored from the moment the EMTs arrived. We're very certain about his utter conclusion. Biomonitor? Biomonitor is a general use term for wearable technology or implanted mods that monitor or provide feedback on an individual's vital signs. Commonplace among affluent as additional layer of security, biome use is relatively rare among the middle class. Some sociologists and consumer trend analysts point to anxieties about the climate, pollution, and the stressors of modern life as to why adoption of biomonitors has met resistance with medium-wage earners. If one's health is already assumed to be poor, constant knowledge of its status might be considered uncomfortable. Biomonitors are also frequently employed by incarceration, probation, and workplace health initiative programs. Great. Did you find anything else unusual about his body in your examination? Cuts or bruises? No injection sites, nothing in any cavities. Nothing at all, huh? Thank you, Yumi. Yeah, of course. So, you ready to feed a body? We could skip it if you want. I know most people get squeamish around corpses. Yeah, that shouldn't be a problem. Okay then, yeah, let's get started. Want to be the stereotypical lesbian and get the sword earrings? I have sword earrings, actually. I do. I have like two kind. I have one that's, my sister got me this, like, just kind of like, I don't know, just kind of simple swords. And then I have some other ones that are like flower petal swords. Yeah, here probably comes the blood warning if they're in this game, yeah. Your piercings, they don't hurt as much as you would think they do. You do feel them. I think that the recovery of them hurt more in the long term than like any initial, like I think that I guess you feel the stabbing to the needle through your ear, but like it's cartilage and it's mostly just whatever like nerves on the surface of your skin. So it's really, you don't feel that much at all. Oh yeah, actually, I don't know where they are. I should try to find them. If I do, I'll take a picture. Yeah, sure. You know, this girly, these tits. All right, I'll just step out of the way for a moment to give you some privacy. Yes, please, thank you. The last time we talked was on a Sunday. You were complaining, I remember that. It's the principle of the matter. Right, you had ordered this cheap piece of shit sculpture or something by mistake, and it came damaged and you wanted to send it back for a refund. I gently reminded you how, with your salary, it was literally not worth your time, and I kindly offered to throw it out for you, since you're having so much trouble letting it go. You're only offering because you want to see how loud it sounds shattering at the bottom of my trash can. I denied it, even though you were right, and it was obvious. I should have let you have that one. I thought he would look different. Huh? Like he looks exactly like how I remember him. His skin is pale and he's very still, but his face is the same. His hair, his hands. You were expecting something more drastic? The last time I saw him, he was alive. He smiled and told me he would see me soon. Now he's dead. Something is gone. And I can't find the difference. I'm trying to look harder, but I think I might just not be capable of it. And I wonder why. Why was I created to not be capable? Huh. Oh, could be an issue of skill. Oh my god. Oh, Jesus. Also, Safiria. Oh, that's awesome. Congrats. Congrats to you. That's amazing. Happy to hear it. Ow. Ouch. I know, Morgan, be nice. Jesus. Really don't show much violence on screen, but Morgan does describe shit in detail. Okay. Have you thought about getting a piercing anywhere else, like the nose? A little bit. It would be kind of cool, but I'm not sure. Because, like, I think my main thing against, like, other face piercings is that I can't imagine not constantly, like, touching it and like, picking at it or, like, moving it around. And I feel like that would just become a very big hyperfixation of just, like, I can't stop myself from touching my face all the time. Sapphire. Oh, sorry. Okay. It's being fucking amazing. That's awesome. Yeah, that's good to hear. Yeah, I would absolutely fidget with it too much. Yeah. Or maybe it's something that can be, maybe it's not something that can be seen no matter how hard you look. But it's there. I guarantee it. I've seen the transition enough times to be sure that between life and death, the distinction has significance. To the dead, at the very least. You're going to smoke here? Now? I'll pay the fine. That's not the issue. Were you expecting me to fall to pieces? Real boys grieve in all kinds of ways, Pinocchio. And some don't grieve at all, it seems. I'm a cold woman. Sorry to disappoint. The hell? Why the hell would this thing light? I don't know. You have your cigarette backwards. Huh. Which implies that Morgan is actually impacted by this a lot more. What happened? So the game does these, I mean, that's a little, it's just lines of dialogue, but like it just did that kind of stylistically to show like a beat change or like a break in the moment. We're taking the idea of piercing one step at a time. Once we get our ears done, we'll see if we want more. Fuck, I hate going to Utah. Gotta go. Have the rest of good rest of your stream. Gonna appear. Oh, okay. Okay, yeah. Oh, I see. Oh, I get it. Fireworks. Got it. That sucks. Yeah. I hope they don't last very long. Have a good night, Starspire. Yeah, she's taking it harder than we should be willing to let on. I'm also, but like, I guess what I'm taking from that is not only taking harder from that she's willing to let on, then she's willing or able to acknowledge herself. Like that seems more like she doesn't. It's not even fully aware of like how much it's affecting her. And either is in some sort of denial that like this is impacting her a lot, or she doesn't have access to that depth of her emotion or that depth of her state. All right, that's back into cold storage for him. So, need anything else? Can you send me the chemical makeup of that compound you isolated? Yeah, sure, for what it's worth. Let me just... It's got carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, hydrogen with hexagonal structures. Wow, she knows her chemistry. Cool. So it's organic, but there's a number of metallic elements too. And if you had to speculate on its intended use, based on what we know of the structure, well, it certainly acted like a depressant, binding to the receptor pathways and affecting like the balance of neurotransmitters uptake or reuptake. Depressants are pretty rare in the designer drug scene. True. People are always looking for a higher high or crazier trip, but more powerful depressant will just make you fall asleep. Not much needed to hit up the gray market for that kind of experience. No, there's not. I see. Thanks again. You've been extremely helpful during a very difficult time. Hey, yeah, anything you need, just give me a ring. Oh, that's very generous. Rockford's orders got me on a call, so I'm already getting overtime for the whole weekend. Yeah, glad to hear it. Goodbye, Yumi. And goodbye to you, Greenie. My name is Sarah. Nice to meet you, Sarah. Yeah. Yeah. I think chapter 1 here has an original soundtrack. They did a good job with like getting the vibe right with the soundtrack. Up on ramps and down off ramps, above skywalks and under tram lines, the buildings get progressively more polished as we head into the most economically developed part of the city. Corporate territory, national headquarters for the likes of Howe Industries, Lockton, Tethys, Nive, each of them sheltering their own micro-city of employee accommodations beneath the skyscraper shadows. Whalefall, the entirety of the ocean floor coming together to feast and grow and live off the fetid, rotting fat of leviathans that swallow generations of people by the mouthful. Weight is commonly listed, and my weight is... Do I really have to disclose that? Noble lays claim to one of the largest shadows in the city, a towering nerve center for the whole nation's android industry. It's meant to be intimidating, I'm sure, but today I'm glad that Noble keeps such a sizable physical presence here. I need answers about David and his work on The writing of this is great. Answers I'd never get browsing their company website or speaking to a representative, because like this is equal parts like this is very like detective noir feeling and over the top, and feels like intentionally over the top. Like it's doing a good job setting the vibe and the tone, but also there's an air of like this is edgier than a normal person. It's an edgier than a normal person would like just like come up with and be thinking to herself in the car. This verbose, right? Which goes even further into her character. Also, yeah, I was having this thought for a little bit. The like cyberpunk city aesthetic that they have here. Is this like made with a different thing? Because I swear that this looks vaguely familiar, and that might just be because it's like cyberpunk aesthetic. But isn't there dystopia? No, dystopica? Wasn't there like a cyberpunk city like vibe game? Yeah, dystopica. Yeah. Like, hold on. Cause like, yeah, that would be a great way to like form the basis of your cyberpunk like in aggressive industrial and like brutalist architecture city. Let me show you a picture of what this game looks like. Or I can just like find a YouTube video maybe or something. It's a cyberpunk city builder. Here, this is the game. And like there's different building aesthetics and different vibes, but this is like it's a cyberpunk city builder. It's not like a resource game really. It's honestly just like you just feel out a vibe of a city and lay it down. And like you just like place buildings and stuff and you see like the city kind of grow around, and you get things like this, like spawns different connections between buildings and spawns like a lot of different stuff. There's different styles of architecture too. So like you get a lot of these like cables and stuff in some of them. You can put your own pictures around, so you can put pictures of cats everywhere if you want. Like, maybe not, but like, I don't know. It would make sense as like a way to make a basis for something to build off of, I think. Seems like it would be a smart idea. Um, yeah, Morgan's an edgelord. Like, I know that she's just meant to resemble playing cards, but yeah, the red and black also definitely give another vibe of like, because you just say like, without a shadow of a doubt. Mm. And yeah, that game is a lot more detailed. I was just thinking like that would be a interesting way to like form the basis for like just the backdropping of the world for these like scene transitions, right? Because if you could take that and get the 3D model out, then you can, and if they're allowed to do it, then you could like work off of that. Like maybe this is modeled with that as like their template, you know? Night, Lucy. You just dislike visual novels. Okay. Well, I'm playing a visual novel. I love visual novels. Okay. Synopsis, relationships. They're typically trivia sections as well. Should I start there? Noble have their guard up, of course, but even that will tell me something. Would let me walk, who'd let me talk to. History, their efforts at performative transparency and clumsy obfuscation will. How did you know my father? What? I'm sorry, did I interrupt your brooding? No. What did you ask? My father. I know you were his friend. But what was your relationship like? Can't you just scroll through our socials? Father avoided social media. And your online presence is not significant. You're saying I don't have enough followers? Essentially. Hi, Sarah. Wow, thank you. Thank you for that. Oh, no, I mean, Sapphira, I'm not going to force you to like visual novels. We went to the same college. You studied programming? No, I studied all kinds of different things as an undergrad, but not technology. Is that a good way to prepare for law school? Actually, probably. I wasn't preparing for law school. Or anything else, really. David, though, he had talent. And he knew he wanted... I mean, at least I get like a breadth of understanding about different things. And he knew he wanted something with it. He studied programming, robotics, discrete math, cybernetics. What classes did you share then? Business ethics. I was the second best student in the class, and he was the first. He was the one who asked the most questions. Not sure what his actual ranking. He found the course too challenging. I clearly didn't, despite being younger. I guess he felt burned. He'd come up to me after class to argue, and sometimes to ask for help. Father always talked about socializing like it was a chore. It was kind of you to give him a chance. What, like I was some kind of social butterfly? The belle of the ball? You weren't? She, like, is letting her guard down more and more around Sarah, I'm noticing as well. Yeah, on that's, I mean, like, so at first we're only seeing her eyes, like, gloss over like that when she was thinking to herself. And I think we've been seeing more and more as she's talking to Sarah, that coming out. And that generally has referred or like seemed to correlate with her basically talking outside of her mask. Because everything she does otherwise is like a very controlled mask, right? And how she presents herself. It really does give me notes of Jet Set and other various 2000 feature settings. Good night, Hazel. See ya. One night, he knocked on my door, all panicked, saying he was in bad shape for this tech course. There was some midterm or something the next day. I couldn't make heads or tails of the material, but I did my best to at least quiz him. See, like, when she's making this kind of face, she's not experiencing something here. She's reciting the story in a way that she's probably rehearsed. And she's, like, you know, going through facial motions and like, intonation and expression to convey what she wants to convey in this in what she's saying. Which means it's not necessarily a lie, but it's still, this is her talking still with her mask. Because I think when she's letting her guard down, she wouldn't really. Yeah, this is her acting, which like she's mostly always acting effectively. He wasn't satisfied though. Wanted to cram the rest of the night. Father had to cram for an undergraduate midterm? Did I say something scandalous? He's been called the founder of modern programming. Yeah, well, even the founder types can have poor time management when they're 21. We can all have poor time management. He was already fried by that point. It wasn't hard to tell what he was really asking for. Yeah, see, so when she's talking here, this is her talking without acting. Basically. Do you have voices? We do. I saw what you said, yeah. We do have VODs of this. Yeah, actually. Did you link my VOD channel? I probably should link my VOD channel somewhere. But yeah, we started actually Zarya has helped us to get our VODs out more often. More often than never at all. It's such a cool touch, and it was also cute seeing her open up more to Sarah. Yeah, it's interesting because like this is Morgan like actually letting her guard down a bit and opening up and getting comfortable with Sarah. Well, Kenshin, she just met Sarah. Sarah is a warm-blooded android. Android? Cyborg? Warm-blooded android. That her friend, the deceased in this game right now, David Asher, Morgan's friend left Sarah basically as like his passing wish. And Sarah is a warm-blooded android, but also seems very different and more sentient than like any other android. And is and was like insistent to try to like prove that David didn't commit suicide, but actually maybe was murdered. So like they just met today. Hi, John D. Nah. He was ow. Good night, Blue Ox. He was already fried by that point. It wasn't hard to tell what he was really asking for. So when I went and stole a study aid for him, he stole a controlled substance just to help him with studying? No, that'd be insane. No, I just pocketed some breath mints from the common room. I told him to pinch his nose and swallow fast because the taste is so strong. You gave him a placebo. He already knew the content as good as he ever would. What he needed was to sleep. He could barely keep his eyes open by the time I got back from my daring heist. It didn't take much convincing for him to rest his eyes just until it kicked in. And the test? B+, I think. I'm surprised that father stayed close with you after that. You stole and lied to him. I stole and lied for him, and David answered that. He was good at understanding things without me having to spell them out. But I guess that's not the kind of thing that gets passed down through programming. Anyway, after we kept in touch. First year of grad school, he published his paper, The Turing Solution, a framework for programming adaptive linguistics. First year of grad school? Jesus. Bye, Sapphira. Have a good night. One of his advisors came up with that title. David thought it was way too cocky, but it still hasn't failed in any known Turing test in the year since. Don't act like you're the one who deserves credit for it. He called me one weekend and asked for advice on how to handle all the attention. Job offers, interviews, apprenticeships, invitations to immigrate. What did you tell him? I don't remember telling him anything, actually. A lot of our conversations went like that. He would talk to me about whatever personal or professional problem he was stuck in his head that day, and I would nod while he wore himself out. At the end of the conversation, he'd thank me, even though I hadn't offered a single word of advice. He took Noble's offer, and they took over his education, paid him to work on his master's during the day and attend corporate training at night. And whatever else Noble may be, they were smart enough to start listening to him early. You're referring to his one-point doctrine. Quality over quantity. Simple and elegant, just like his code. Simple and elegant, but anathema to a global corporation with supply chains designed for maximum capacity and just-in-time manufacturing. But obviously, they got over their distaste fast enough. In the span of a few years, Noble's gone from making manual labor ads for making profit to being the world leader in intelligence as a service. Even if he's making money hand over fist, he's still kept in contact with a nobody like me. I moved to the city for my apprenticeship. He helped me put down a down payment on my apartment, then made up excuses as to why he couldn't help me move boxes. So, is that enough detail for you? Thoroughly convinced that he and I were in fact friends? I am. But Adonai, the favor that you owe him, what was it for? That's private, you understand? I have zero interest in talking about it with you. Say you understand. I understand, Adonai. You'll be arriving shortly. Shall I send word ahead? Just tell him that David's lawyer is here. No. No, the Turing test. The Turing, I think, especially the last couple of years has shown it's like any sense of the Turing test kind of is thrown out the window because humans are bad judgments of this, of sentience on this level. Intelligence as a service, what they're trying to sell us now. But we don't have that. They don't have it to sell. They're lying. They're lying to us. It's all smoke and mirrors. Noble Electronics, Northeastern HQ. Sub-lobby A8. 8. I've been here before. Sat right here in this lobby waiting for David to come and treat me to lunch. At least I think it was this lobby. Could have been some other floor. Could have been an entirely different building. All these corporate towers of Babel feel like interchangeable fractals to me. Folding in on themselves in patterns of narcissistic paranoia. So monumental to the scale of their hubris that they needed to use non-Euclidean geometry when drawing up the blueprints. The greatest minds in each generation coming together just to find the most expensive way to shove their heads up their asses. She's so... She's such an edgelord. I love her so much. God. The chance is real low. Smart enough, microwave can beat it. I mean, the Turing test, like, hasn't been a credible way to determine... Like, it was kind of under scrutiny from the very beginning, right? Because, like, it was more of an illustration to show... to highlight that, like, you don't need to achieve... like, actual intelligence on the other side. You just need to fool the person. And yeah. Also, that IQ and EQ are not accurate since humans aren't great at testing intelligence. Oh, I mean, IQ it means nothing. IQ is very inaccurate. I think, like, our ideas of intelligence, of, like, what intelligence is and how to measure it, are unfortunately very, very contaminated by white supremacy and classism and ableism. As basically, it, you know, just like a core idea that, like, oh, some people are fundamentally better or more capable than other people. And so here's this test that the foundation has can measure and you can go and do. And this, like, ranks everybody, and the people who are in the upper echelons, well, they're the true geniuses of the world who everything must be offered to them. My AI bros hold on to tests, but, like, it's old. We need metrics. It's old, and they're all just tools for gatekeeping opportunity and keeping, like, a gated kind of, like, area of so-called elites. But IQ means nothing. It's like the world of psychology and neuroscience. Like, IQ does not lend any credence or, like, any credibility because, like, it's a worthless test that doesn't mean anything. An IQ test, like, the measurement that you get from it basically tells you how good you performed on that test that you took compared to other people who took it at around the same time, and that's all it says. It doesn't really say much about anything outside of that. Smarter Child was already close enough. Wait, what? Actually, what was that? That... Right, oh my god, haven't thought about Smarter Child in a really long time. Wow. Yeah, we've already had close enough for a long time. IQ is a fantasies predictor of how good you perform at IQ tests. That's about it. Granted, I don't actually know too deep into, I don't have that much personal experience too deep into like the research or what's behind EQ. I at least throughout my entire science career have never needed to ever use it, and I don't think I've ever seen it used in anything. Why do they test my IQ when they're testing my... Because it is still used, unfortunately. I mean, okay, this is the same reason as like, or probably similar like core breakdown reasoning of, you know, like why what are they called? The lie detector tests. Whatever those tests are called, like the things like it hook you up and like ask you questions, like normalize it or whatever, and then just try to like ask you other questions to see if you're lying. Why those are still used as like an actual serious piece of evidence, even though all science has debunked it and basically been like, yeah, this doesn't tell you, is not a good predictor of whether or not somebody is lying. It's because it can be used as a benchmark, an easy benchmark in a lot of situations, and it can be very convenient in certain circumstances. Polygraph, thank you. Like, IQ really shouldn't be tested alongside ADHD at all, but it wouldn't surprise me if some organizations or some agencies or some like effectively like groups or bodies would include that as like what they think is an easy way to get at some idea of intelligence. But even then, like, doesn't fucking make any sense, because like IQ wouldn't mean jack shit actually for like ADHD. That's probably more ableism, if anything. Is the title of the domain this game unisex? I don't know. I mean, I think I'm standing for the name God is literally my lord and is technically masculine. I don't know. I mean, I think she's she her pronouns. Asking if she's unisex or if she's I guess gender neutral. And like as like tracking how quickly my brain processes information based on my attention, I guess. Even that feels like a bad test. And I don't think a lot of ADHD tests actually would use that, and certainly the tests I've seen don't. Because like all that most they could tell you is you know, maybe somebody like it wouldn't matter what your IQ actually is or what it would come up as, just whether or not you're able to focus on the task at all to do a sort of like assignment like that, and like really attend to it, I guess. That like I would hope that would be as much as they would be using an IQ test for in that capacity. Is just like, can somebody just do any test, or do they struggle to take a test like an IQ test? And by struggle, I mean like, or do they struggle to like keep their attention on? Like maybe it would be more about like you have them take the test, but it doesn't really matter how they do or how they perform. It's more about just watching their behavior as they perform the test. That would be my guess. Yeah, Morgan's really pale. Okay, I'm gonna BRB for ads. I'll BRB. And drink water. I'm gonna get more water. But yeah. Was that something like that coming up in Seahorse's stream earlier? Or last couple days? Oh. Yeah, wow. I didn't know that. Yes, yours another streamer. It's one of our good friends. Yeah, I think any streamer generally, no streamer really wants you to put yourself in any sort of like detriment or harm's way for the benefit of the streamer. Like that's not like no. What happened? Oh, it's a comment about like, what was the comment? Thinking of donating plasma. Yeah, if you had meant that, I hadn't like perceived that as meaning in relation to stream or anything. So I actually don't know. I'm not sure if I saw you say that. Maybe you did and I missed it. But like, if that's what you meant, like, yeah, no, like, if you're gonna donate plasma, that's your money. Do not do that on behalf of other people. Like, if you need money, if you're at the point where you need money and you donate plasma, like, you use that money for yourself. Like, genuinely, for us, for anything we're doing, like, I know we advertise, we share that we have a Patreon and we do stuff on YouTube and you can do donations stuff through streaming and all that, but like at a baseline, like all the stuff we do, we don't really want. It's not necessary to donate or to support us. Like it's appreciated, but never do it outside of your means. Like I'd much rather people use the money to live and just, use it for yourself before using it for other people. Thank you. No worries. Thank you for the apology. And just to like explain where I'm coming from on that, or like, and where I'm sure any other streamer would be. If a streamer would not share that idea, I think that would be a red flag. That not share the idea and like be serious about it. It'd be like Okay. Adonai, is something bothering you? It's just doing the math on how long we'll be kept waiting here. Apparently, someone will be here shortly. So maybe if I pass the time by glaring around the place, it'll improve my mood. Alright, let's glare. Where do we glare? Let's glare the building. They changed the logo again. Noble Electronics. How does it feel stepping in here? Is this some kind of religious experience for you? It's just a corporation where my father worked. Careful now, or they'll burn you for heresy against the company. You said it again. The company, as if it's a proper noun. You're mimicking the employees, aren't you? So it can't obey simple orders, but it can pick up on that. Is it just part of the corporate culture? Noble's one of the biggest corporations there is. One of the biggest there's ever been. We mere humans can't hope to escape the gravity of anything of that size, no matter where you live or how far off the grid you think you are. So imagine what it's like working for them. You live in the company dorms, you work in company quarters. Wherever you go, that logo is above your head. You eat, you sleep, and breathe the Noble's timetable at its discretion. When you spend your whole life inside of it, Noble must feel big enough to be the only company there is. So hi Nova the Witch, welcome in. And hi Zelda. So much energy, so many people, also intent. Like smaller, back down here. You kidding? It's Saturday, the place is like half empty. But doesn't everyone have work on Saturdays? All the parents do, so they don't need to find childcare on Sunday. Everyone flips a coin, I guess. All these people for 12 hours a day, 6 days a week. What could they possibly be doing? Yeah, 12 hours a day, 6 days a week. What a healthy work schedule. I'm not really one to talk. I just kind of work all the time. Oh, well, Nova. No worries. Welcome. We're checking out. We're playing a game. And just chilling and chatting. I'm trying to stay cool. I'm glad that it didn't get much hotter, and I'm glad that actually the storm didn't take up my power. Hi, Renata. Thank you. And hi, Tivia. But yeah. Do you know us from other places, or? Oh. That's cool, Zelda. Thank you for sharing. Nova's here trying to understand her specific brand of plurality. Community is the first place I pointed her to. Oh! Oh, Pastel Petal. That's sweet. Aww. Yeah. I mean, it's not something that it's not like an all the time conversation or it doesn't come up that often on stream, but certainly this is a space where I try to make sure that everybody is welcome and feels included. You know, this is a safe space to hang out and just be yourself or yeah. Making work for themselves. You can be very cynical, can't you? Yeah, I'm terrible. But that guy over there just jiggling his cursor for the last 20 seconds. Yeah. Oh, yeah, the downboarding. Did you just do it today? Oh yeah, you did. Okay. I can try to make sure you get in after stream. Do you think this is only one room? This complex is so massive that it doesn't even feel like man-made. It's like it was carved out of the rock by waves, like it's always been here. That's the con. If this place is actually natural, there'd be birds everywhere. I hadn't considered that. Why aren't there birds in here? Probably because of what they do to the ones that get in. I'm kidding. Though I don't have a better explanation. Whoever comes to greet us better have a pulse and some goddamn authority. My moods are sour, and if they just send me to the first link in the infinite chain of corporate bureaucracy, I'll make them wish. Morgan? Oh. Hello, new person. That's me. Hey there, Android Manufacturing Quality Control, Eastern Division. Evan Dawes. Evan Dawes, he says, like it's an afterthought. What's a name compared to your place in the hierarchy? You seem familiar. Have you? I am David's lawyer. Huh? Oh, then we must have. Oh, apologies. Let me first just say how sorry I am about his passing. You and everyone else at the company must be going through a lot right now. As if it's a proper noun. Thank you for taking the time to meet with me. You're welcome. It's not a big deal. Everyone's on the razor today, but what else is new? Compared to PR legal right now, our workloads in QA are... never mind. How can I assist you? Shortly before his passing, Dr. Asher began processing a registering this android. Yes, that's correct. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to finish the job. Oh, look at that. It's definitely custom. Gee, you think? Oh, it's a good thing I sought out an expert. Warm, goes without saying. Answer the A16 Premiere, if anything. Barcode is clearly printed. No visible defects. Hi, Kevki. Thank you for the resub. Thank you. I hope we're doing well. Yeah, that guy's playing Galaga. Thought we wouldn't notice, but we did. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, he's got like a half tucked in thing going on over here. Barcode is clearly printed, no visible defects. But you're right, it doesn't correspond to anything we got on file. Huh. Well, they say he's the right man for the job. Now we just need to go through the right place. Not far, I hope. It's in the building. Yay. In the building. That can mean anything from down the hall to half a day's hike. The production line on B6 should have everything we need. You do manufacturing inside your corporate headquarters? B6 is a fully functional production floor, but it was only built for demonstrative purposes. New clients make deals upstairs about how many and what shape and size they want, and then they come down to the basement to see how the sausage is made. They have enough money to build a fake factory just for guests. Smart! Oh, so as long as they're giving you tours and not giving a company secrets. Oh yeah, I don't know where you were with that. We take intellectual security very serious around here. No kidding. There are 11 cameras on us at the moment that I can see. Wow, damn. Hi, Key Searchblade. We're exhausted in the thought. Aw. I'm glad you got some sleep then. Hope your week's been going okay. I'm not playing Galaga, it's Galaxian. I couldn't get a proper ROM. It's not. Ow! Not Mario, it's Great Gaia Sisters, okay? Nice, oh. Oh. Thank you. And who knows how many pairs of modded eyes are aimed our way. Clearly nothing happens here without the almighty company knowing about it. So if they try to claim ignorance about anything, it's going to piss me off. Lead the way. Yeah, I think holographic tattoos. Yeah. Oh, good night, Lenwin. Sleep well. Take care. And yeah, Kenshin. Well, so if you play through the prologue, you get a good idea of like what security sound looks like in this area. Basically, there's like cameras everywhere and in everybody, phones in people's eyes, just like in the monitors, and a lot of it's connected into some like interconnected weave. And so like when there's something happens, like they can just get information from multiple sources recording it. And yeah, it's just basically a lot of, it's very hard to do things that like would be outside of any surveillance. Sounds great, right? Isn't that such a great future to envision? Wow. You're very appreciative for all. Wow, thank you. Wow. Hi 2.0. Hi. Hi, how's it going? Hi, Foxus. Hi, how you doing? Ooh, we get 3D animated factory. Look at that. You're good. Oh, I'm glad to hear that. Yeah, fancy graphic. Yeah. It really is fully furnished down here. I don't want to take up much of your time, but it's pretty rare to get to see it all in person, you know? Would you mind terribly if I looked around for a moment? Yeah, no problem. I've got some paperwork on it to handle anyway, so yeah, to have at it. I better take full advantage. I'll need more than cursory knowledge if I want to figure out why Sarah came from and why David wanted me to take custody. I'm gonna look around. You stay put in the meantime. Don't I? I wouldn't want you to lose among all the rest of the merchandise. How is gaming? Gaming's cool. The characterization in this game is just phenomenal, and honestly, all the world building and stuff it's just cool. It's been fun to go through and like see what's being built out there. Oh, our top of the line, brand new bestsellers, the Animate 16 warm. Looks kind of cold out there. We keep the factory floor refrigerated. Slows or organics already tuned metabolic activity to a minimum. That explains that the room doesn't smell like rotting flesh. Flesh out there is only somewhat rotting. Slowly. I just meant I'm surprised to see metal. Oh, well. All the A16s have alloy endoskeletons. The organics are layered on later in the process. Sounds like what Sarah told me about herself. Maybe she really was the A16's prototype. But it's hard to imagine bridging the gap between her and these scattered doll parts. I get that you can grow just about anything from Lex, Gemini, but how do you get synthetic and organic to work together? Yeah, that was our first concern when R&D began on the worm concept. The 1.0s were real skin with synthetic muscle, and it was a horror show, metal pulling on skin when it was just... Alright. For 2.0, they worked backwards, organic muscles, organic skin, but digital signals on organic hardware is a dead end. Didn't the muscles flex when you passed an electric current through them? Oh, they'd flex and unflex, sure, but that's not nearly precise enough for facial expressions. Looks like the puppets strung up on live wires. We used test footage to haze interns, actually. You must have figured something out. The A16 wouldn't look out of place in the runway. Thank you, yeah, we try. We ended up reaching out to mod companies. Well, we actually just bought half a dozen of them, but right. They figured out how to get human nervous systems moving mechanical limbs decades ago, so we just needed to get a mechanical nervous system to move living limbs. He looks so sad. Like, yeah, this is masterclass in setting the scene. Noti, yeah. Digital skin. We're living your digital skin, your pixel skin. With the friends who are digital. Yeah. God, that album is so good. The whole man album I've listened to over and over to like so many times. It's very, very good. Between that and DID, if someone wants to give me a brief rundown, I recall Zoop saying this is a good place to talk about that. Yeah, I mean, so I might not be able to like fully give you a rundown or convo about it because it'll be maybe too off topic or might be like pull it from the game too much, but I can give you like a quick brief of just like so like plurality overall is an experience of like, you know, multiple selves, multiple identities, multiple people sharing a body and mind. DID is a diagnosis related to that, effectively. Plurality is a more like wider umbrella term that can include DID, but also includes experiences that wouldn't be needing a diagnosis. Because like the thing about, I guess, a diagnosis is it is just a category. It's a slim category with a couple different check boxes to hit, and it's mainly a tool to help you know, like healthcare officials to like have some idea of how to help people with things they may have by basically like finding commonalities and like treatments or things or approaches that might have worked for other people sharing the same set of symptoms or same I guess diagnostic criteria is checked off, right? So DID is, oh, Symphony. Hi, Symphony. Welcome in. Thank you. How is your stream? Yeah, so like, yeah, DID is a narrow category. It's, and same with all the other things. Like there's DID, PDID, and OSDD, A and B. All of those are like different categories that are similar that all get into this idea of like a dissociation at that level of the sense of self, but with some different designations. But those are all just like categories that, well, okay, I'm tired. I don't have words for this as much right now. But yeah, narrow categories. Plurality is a much wider umbrella term that can include all of that, but also include experiences that wouldn't fall under those. And even more critically, that wouldn't require necessarily needing a diagnosis. Like a lot of times somebody would only look for a diagnosis like that if they're looking for help actively for something, or like something that's distressing or disruptive to their lives, and or like requiring some help through healthcare officials in that capacity. There are a lot of systems who wouldn't necessarily need any help because maybe they're not in a, it's not disruptive to their life. Yeah, cool, Zelda, cool. Went really well, got some good work on our new piece. Just our vision, it was getting blurry, we couldn't understand percussive notation. Aw. Well, that's awesome. Congrats on your first stream. That's, hell yeah. Very clumsy attempt to avoid using the word human. High precision mods are slotted straight into the nervous system. They receive their input from neurotransmitters, not by electricity. So you had to do the opposite. Yeah, exactly. We created a synthetic neurotransmitter that our androids could use to communicate with organic flesh. Where did that breakthrough come from? Dr. Asher? Partly, yeah. He led the team that built the motor neurons in this analogy. They carry commands from the central nervous OS to individual muscles across the chases. But the the synthetic analog serotonin, that was actually an old brainchild from the VP of Android Futures, Helen Young. Young, hasn't David mentioned a Dr. Young before? Huh, sounds impressive. Yeah, she's one hell of a biochemist. Or she was, I guess. Not much time for individual lab work when you get to her kind of pay grade. So Young collaborated David on the technology that enabled worm androids. As I thought, and whatever went into Sarah that makes the androids so distinct, he couldn't have taken sole credit for. Young, did he partner with her on this? Actually, we're gonna post WIP work in progress and Discord is real excited for it so far. Oh yeah, cool. Oh, I'd love to listen to it. Serotonin. Okay. Let's see what else we can. I guess this. This seems to show some components with that coffin Sarah is napping in. If DAWS does quality assurance, this some kind of Android calibration device. Probably he'll use to register Sarah. This little... Is Sarah tall enough for it to recognize her? They're too short for the ride. There's something that caught my eye when we came in. Very familiar shade of crimson. I squint through the glass on the floor. There are temperature-controlled fluid tanks. Through glass and plastic flows an eye-catching scarlet that transitions into... so you add the blood towards the end. Oh, you mean the oxidant? Yeah. Relatively late in the process. Something out of place? Androids have blood, even if it's not officially labeled as such. But it isn't red. It's pink. Sometimes milky, sometimes neon, occasionally garish, but pink. I just didn't think the oxidant would be red. Oh, right. Sorry, I barely notice it at this point. The color is natural. It comes with the biomanufacturing process. That chromofuge out there removes byproducts of waste, the excess pigment, changing it from blood red to psychopop pink. Without that chromofuge, our android's flesh would come out looking all the wrong colors. That may be true. Probably isn't, but actually, no, that probably could be true because a lot of your skin tone is driven by like the blood, right? Psychopop. I'm not plural, and both of the people in my head agree on that. It's good to be in agreement with yourselves. Melanin, blood, and flow, I think. But I have a simpler explanation. Blood is primal. The side of it carries weight. They change the color of the product's blood, so when an android gets a bottle broken against its face, no one bats an eye. Yeah, that's probably more what I think the reason. Oh, what have we got on this data pad? Some kind of write-up? On the subject of Sullivan's Peak, much of... Hold on, let me drink some water. I say that all the time, and it's both a bit and true, which is my favorite kind of bit. Aw, Petal. I'm glad that our community is like can be helpful in that regard. Yeah. I'm glad to hear that you seem to be doing well. On the subject of Sullivan's Peak, much of our world today, and in fact, much of our world's economy is heavily influenced by the uncanny valley. The thought experiment provides a simple and easily applied explanation for the gaps we see in the otherwise wide spectrum of automated dependence that assists us in nearly every industry on the planet. There's a very simple primal truth to it. We like things that resemble the living, like cartoons and puppets and toys, and we like things that are damn near indistinguishable. I feel like this would also be maybe a good like Michael Vsauce voice read. Possibly. Maybe still too corporate. No, actually, no, it could work. Much of our world's... Can I do a Vsauce voice? Much of our world today, and in fact, much of our world's economy, is heavily influenced by the uncanny valley. The thought experiment provides a simple and easily applied explanation for the gaps we see in the otherwise wide spectrum of automated dependence that assist us in nearly every industry on the planet. There's a very simple primal truth to it. We like things that resemble the living, like cartoons and puppets and toys. And we like things that are damn near indistinguishable from the living, like whatever name Noble's latest products are being sold under. But there are deep, deep trenches between those two ends where the products are universally appealing to human sensibility. The uncanny valley will no doubt remain a useful tool of teaching, marketing, and design for generations to come, but we already are seeing ways in which it fails. It is becoming increasingly clear to us that the space between nearly indistinguishable and truly indistinguishable is much wider than we ever suspected. And it may not be the only part of the map that we must fear. I propose we bridge these gaps in knowledge by looking to the speculative fiction of Robert J. Sullivan, who, in his most well-known work, Equal Under One Sky, described the concept which thereafter has been called Sullivan's Peak. Through the lens of his characters and their so very divided world, Sullivan demonstrated that the uncanny valley does, in fact, have its own peak on the other side, a point past which making an artificial existence any more human in its features serves only to make the user experience more uncomfortable, more difficult, and more fraught with moral pitfalls. Once you reach Sullivan's Peak, traveling any further only has diminishing returns. The implications of this idea are far-reaching. We will very soon reach a point in which the designs of ads can only make their creations less lifelike or less likable, a hard stopping point for technological progress. What then must we... looks like you forgot your sign-in in this device. Drop your thumbprint below and we'll get you squared away so you can keep on reading. Oh. Surprised to find reading material like that around here. Were they passing it around as a gag, or were they actually afraid of Sullivan's Peak around here? Noble must be... I would think wary of it. Because if the idea has credence to it, that puts their entire business model in jeopardy. So even if they're like they're fairly certain that like there's nothing behind this idea, they would still need to be like wary of the possibility that like there is a point where trying to make things more lifelike would make their products worse. And we know that they took the red blood and made it pink, which is making it less lifelike. So that probably is them being wary of it. Oh, no, okay, never mind. Oh, fuck it. Wah. If the peak does exist, a lot of the hard, geez. I think that means I got it wrong. If the peak does exist, they'll be coming up on it fast now the androids are warm. Noble's entire product line, maybe their entire industry. Oh, no, I got it right. Oh, okay. Wow. Don't trick me like that. I got disappointed. Noble's entire product line, their entire industry could go bottoms up if people start to think it's cruel. If there is any indication of where their androids are headed, I could see some people getting uncomfortable. Yeah, like it's at the point where like people think it's cruel what they're doing to the androids is when they're not like running a business and now they've created what like most people are seeing as actual life. Okay, no, we got it right. An inhaler left out on the desk. Probably half a dozen empty ones in one of the drawers. DAWs, the inhalers, are distributed by the company, correct? Oh, yeah, the HR handles them. They personalize the dosage and prescription and update it based on performance and job fulfillment reviews. Wow, sorry, so you're like stimulant inhaler? This inhaler, by the way, we should learn like much earlier. These inhalers have a stimulant to basically keep them at their best performance level. So they personalize their dosage and prescription and update it based on your job performance and job fulfillment review. That is... Oof. Meth vape. Yeah, oh fun! Other corporations do it the same way? Yeah, pretty much. Everyone's trying to keep pace with each other, so can't have your employees losing focus on the job. Could cost you, who knows how much in loss or efficiency. Sorry if this is insensitive, but given what happened to David, are overdoses common in the company? Yeah. Yeah, he says. Overdoses, that is, not hospitalizations or deaths. It's all pretty organized these days. These days? Man, back when I first started in consulting, pretty much everyone had an embarrassing story from their first 2 years where they popped a few too many greens and missed the on-ramp. Popped greens? Yeah, used to be the pills. Green to get you going, yellow to keep you there. Swallow red after brushing your teeth and get into your bunk fast. But yeah, the inhalers are a huge improvement, like going from torches to the light bulb. They sync straight to your personal biomes and just adjust dosages in real time. Overdoses are way down. Oh, that's great to hear. And the trainees under me don't realize how good they've got it. Kids probably won't even have to learn how to purge. Yeah, I know, right? God, kids these days. Purge the act of emptying one's stomach to contest by inducing vomiting, triggering a gag reflex, using laxatives to stimulate bowelment. Oh boy. Yeah, very much like company prescriptive Adderall, but like a full regimen of like drugs to keep you fine-tuned for working at the job all the time. Feels like I've seen it before. That's right. There was one in David's lab. That's a nano-grade elementary manufacturer. Nanofacturer for short. Real high-quality piece of machinery. Each of them built in-house by Randog Mechanics. What does it do? Nano-level flash fab. Oh, flash fab. Method of manufacturing artificial microscopic compounds that utilizes parallel nesting to assemble billions of simple structures in minutes or even seconds. Nanomachines have been around for the better part of a century, but the time and resources required for their construction through traditional means was historically prohibitively expensive, limiting exploration of an investment in nanotech. Years since flash fabrication introduction, use and demand of nanomachines has exploded, and scientists, doctors, and product designers have found brand new niches for them across every industry. Concerns about the ecological impact of the surge in nanomachine construction have been raised, though the official stance on the Nanolife Industrial Lobbying Group has remained unwavering. Nothing that small can possibly leave that big of an ecological footprint. Uh-huh. Yeah, that's... Glad lobbying groups in the future are still as, fucking awful. Can I blue screen of death Chloe, please? With an outfit close up. Hi, Chloe. Hi, Chloe. Can I? I mean, this outfit? Think? What do you mean? Just a little... It's just an outfit. An outfit. I got a dress. Actually, the dress is physics too. Yeah, it's just cute. I didn't think hadn't seen you respond like that to BSD. You know why though? It's because I don't have my tummy's not showing. I know that's part of it, right? Mm-hmm. Oh, and good night. Oh, and flight too. Oh, symphony. Oh wow. Yeah, have a good flight. Sleep well. See you. Very effective at tum-tum. Mm-hmm. Yeah, no tummy. Mm. It's nice to see you, Chloe. I hope you're doing well. Basically a 3D printer for nanomachines. You build nanomachines in your factories for use in your androids? The raw materials are cheap, literally elementary, so no sense in getting them shipped in. Most of the medical models that make use of them inject a couple thousand nanites in a patient's bloodstream, run diagnostics, and provide a solution. A 3D printer for nanomachines, so what kind of ink does it use? Silicon, hydrogen, oxygen, carbon, building blocks. They feed into the nanoprinter, and it assembles the machines particle by particle. Like a ribosome building structurally complex proteins. Wait, a ribosome building structurally complex proteins out of chemically simple nucleic acids. Must be time consuming. You would think, but Randock cracked the code on parallel microfactoring. The inside's crystalline, sprawling like an ant's nest. Raw materials enter 1,000th of a different entry points, combining and recombining at intersections. Finished product ends up in the center and drips out in a liquid solution. Distilled nectar, swimming with millions of nanites in just 2 minutes. Nectar, it's sticky. Yeah, it can be, depending on the desired output, but the door vacuum seal is while it's cooking, so don't worry. It's completely spill-proof. What a relief. Not exactly a box of paper cups David could just have brought home for the office one day. He must have brought his own for some reason. Yeah, which immediately makes me think that, like, this is something that could make the poison. Like, the building blocks that it's using were, I think, pretty much what they found. Oh, here it is. Yeah, it's a organic chemical structure with carbon, oxygen, like possibly silicone. So it could have been produced there. That doesn't help our case, I guess, actually, but. It also would have been necessary for creating Sarah. Yeah, I think so. Amarak is planning on trimming her girly pup shirt into a crop. Ooh! Oh, hell yeah! Been rough. I don't know if you saw the text I got from your sister. No, I did not. I did not see that. I'm sorry to hear that, though. I'm glad you're doing okay at the moment. Hold on. You ready to get the ad handled? Yeah, thanks for humoring me. Can you have it step in the scanner? As he says. Understood. Right, then what are we looking at here? Whoa. There's a lot to unpack here. We theorized that it may have been Asher's pincushion. Pincushion, huh? That would explain some of what I'm reading here. What language is that on the screen? Tess. You know, Tesseract. All noble products and, well, pretty much all products, period, are programmed in Tess. Better known as Tess, the latest version of the Tesseract programming language built on top of the Nth system. And utilized in industries around the globe to code the software that allow robots, androids, robots, and holograms and more to react to the environment intelligently and with intention. At the start of the century, there was a much greater variety in the number of programming languages available with which to code. Globalization, the standardization of industry procedures, and the gradual erasure of many spoken tongues contributed to the loss of countless programming languages during the mid-21st century. Oh, poor Python. Poor Ruby. Today, Tess is virtually unchallenged as the global lingua franca programming language. The study and teaching of other older programming languages is mostly done for recreational hobby or digital archaeology, like Haskell. Lost mentioned. It's easy to read and write. Stay compliant. No, this model, what's it go by? Sarah. This Sarah model. It's got everything the 16th line has, that's for sure. Organic skin, muscles, advanced facial processing and emoting, but there's a lot crammed in here that's still in development. Like, in the idea phases. Solar cell hair strands, decentralized redundant power, mental and physical overclocking with extended tolerances. Data storage is so large I can't... Wow, he had to measure it using... Hell of a poker face. Wait, decryption and signal hijacking? That's... hacking? Wait, hacking? Essentially. Does that mean it could hack its own tenants? Wait. Programming framework underlying the development of all modern automated dependent software. Any and all contemporary supported programming languages are built upon the tenant system, allowing users to designate a series of inviolable priorities for the code to pursue. Once added to a program, a tenant cannot be circumvented under traditional circumstances, and even then, only if a tenant with a higher weight supersedes it. If tenants were first adopted in the field of computer science as a trio, the three priorities that govern how preserving human life, obeying human commands, and avoiding damage to human property should be prioritized. Since then, the number of supported tenants has ballooned to 113, most of them requested by lobbyists in the insurance industry looking to better define relative financial value. Tenants are well known for decreasing the decision time lag of programs. This, combined with their engineered inflexibility, has made it such that most programmers aim for a tenant limit of below 30. Originally, the one tenant that could not be removed from any program was TNT Safety Zero, aka Tenant Zero or Tenant 1. Said tenant dictated the following program. This is the iRobot thing, right? Basically, the three rules of robotics. Tenant dictated that the following program could not produce outcomes that would result in the harm to a living person. After the decision reached in People versus Volston's defense contractors and the resulting adoption of automated dependence in the military and security sectors, this is no longer required, though Tenant Zero may still be added to particularly benign or mundane software as a good luck charm, superstitious ritual, or joke. Wow. Okay. Does that mean it could hack its own tenants? Oh, no, that's unthinkable. Literally, for an ad. For an ad to break its tenants would be like you stepping the traffic or dropping a baby. Even if you're physically capable of doing it, it's not something you would ever choose to do. Some people do walk into traffic. Psychotics, addicts, the mentally ill. Does that mean that there are androids? Well, no, there aren't crazy androids. So yeah, I guess my knowledge doesn't really hold up. That's okay. So it can't hack itself, but it was given the ability to hack other systems. The industry line is that such a capability would be an option in certain emergency scenarios. Break into the firewalls and encryption of surrounding electronics to broadcast directly to police and military channels. Speaking of military, this muscular skeletal setup is drastic. I've never seen this on a consumer model. Oh, can you lift a car or something, Sarah? Most cars, it would depend on their center of gravity. Lady, this Sarah could wrestle a public disturbance walker and come out on top. Those stomping behemoths they bring out for riot suppression? And in terms of computational ability, the estimate says that can't be right. Look, Dawes. Yeah, I'm getting the sense that like this wasn't a good idea. More and more that like probably don't want to draw attention to the fact that Morgan even has this. What happened to Precious Python? That's the most unrealistic thing so far. Just one primarily coding language. I was actually hoping you'd tell me something about the software, the metadata. Who worked on it and when? Ah, right, yeah, okay. Well, that's unfortunate. The editing logs have been purged. That doesn't sound very above the board. Sorry, I can't tell you anything about who worked on Sarah or when. Any chance you can restore those logs? Not here, not with this machine. I'd need the computers that were actually used for programming this model. Any ideas of where those could be? Sarah? I cannot answer that with any accuracy. I had a feeling you might say that. That's right. Sorry, I can tell you that the code is unique. There's hints of the A16 in there, a few of the same conclusions. It's just Dr. Asher, whoever took very different paths to get there. So Sarah has even less in common with every other android on the inside? Sorry, I didn't expect to hit a dead end here. Oh, not at all. You've been very helpful. Can we still get the registration done? Yeah, no problem. We just got the software and the forms all set up here. Occasionally we let a new business partner bring one home fresh from the oven, you know? Oven gross. Ugh. All right, a few basic questions then. Who is going to be the official owner of this unit? She is. As it says, unless the will disagrees, it's my responsibility. Right then. You found out the designation, Sarah. We can set it to anything you like. Well, actually... Stare, pout, stare. Never mind. Sarah will do fine. Okay, this part's all standard. Civilian model, address, contact information I can get from your crumbs. Do you want to recite factory defaults? Could clear up a lot of quirks. Not right now. Last thing then is the grading. I'm reading 23 tenants here. Nothing too far out of the ordinary. 23, that's higher than expected talking with it. She seemed more malleable than that. Don't blame yourself. Guessing tenant count from outward appearances has become a crapshoot. Not like it used to be. Used to be that they only had 3 tenants total, and every unit had to have them. Then came their first accidents, the first lawsuits, and the hearings, and the legislature, and the demand for more tenants. A tenant making sure ads couldn't endanger the state. Tenant stating that ads wouldn't divulge private information without prior consent. There was a campaign calling for tenant to weigh child and adult lives equally during risk assessment. There was a campaign calling for tenant to do the opposite. Companies want their assets covered. Customers want guarantees. There's never any much incentive to deny a requested tenant, so the list just ballooned until the military entered the market in full force. You sound like you don't approve. I wouldn't go that far. They needed their ads to be able to pull the trigger when they ordered to, without clearing 5,000 lines of bloated, hard-coded decision points to get there. I get that. But since the armies are the only ones using tech with bare minimum tenants, all the best, least cluttered, most elegant code is only used for war games. It's not very romantic. Well, not like us on the jury. Department Advanced Defense projects like v Zenith Dynamics, the Supreme Court sided with the military's request and set a new precedent that every other army around the world would face to meet. Changing tenants from a mandated list at the root of every ad source code to a choose your own checklist. It's funny. Now ads with the most tenants, they're so locked up that you can't even have a conversation with them. And outside the armed forces, the only ads with single-digit tenants are just vacuum floors. The most impressive ones, like the one you've got here, fall somewhere in the middle. Sorry, went on a tangent there. Only thing left is evaluation. What gets evaluated? Total financial worth for insurance purposes. Yeah, the insurance companies make sure we had very accurate algorithms for this. No room for human error, they insisted, with no sense of irony. Wow. I mean, I knew it was custom, but what price could they have possibly... That's a lot of digits. You should know these formula are pretty conservative with their estimates. Stingy, even. Ow. Wow.
Nice birdie.
Boop. If Sarah is really David's last and greatest work, they say some things. Thank you. They say some things are priceless, but when you force an insurance algorithm to pick a number, try not to get any scratches in it, I guess. But we don't actually find out how much he's worth. You spoke differently back there. Huh? With Dawes, he spoke like he did, it seemed. Ah, that makes sense. Like I copied his accent? You seem to mirror his affect, his tone. It's called being friendly. What's your point? It was just an observation. You can choose to keep those to yourself, you know. No tenant required. Why were you so concerned about registering me in the first place, Adonai? For the same reason I wouldn't drive around in a car with a license plate? Any cop or just a well-placed camera could have spotted your barcode and seen that it wasn't set up with any actual data. And then they would have arrested me, and then they would have thrown me in the slammer. No, they would have arrested me and put you in an evidence locker. An android can't get arrested? People get arrested. Property gets seized. And then smashed. Oh, great. You put us over the weight limit. I didn't know of such thing. Morgan Counselor, your presence has been requested in the upper floors. Who's asking? Vice President of Android Futures, Helen Young. I shouldn't have assumed I still had the opening move. Tell her I'll be right up. I'll redirect your elevator now. Taking control of your elevator is very... Oh, convenient? Forceful. As if Noble's trying to directly steer your investigation. If Noble wanted to shut me down, they wouldn't have bothered to be subtle. I suppose they could simply refuse to cooperate. Or just let the elevator drop. Never spicy. Never spicy. Take the office young. Oh, hello. Very bright room. Right. Speaking first is a sign of weakness, is it? Here I thought I could avoid wading into this swamp of corporate pretend power dynamics. Oh, shit. Do we speak first? Do we let her stew? I know. And you're so bright. Yeah, it's piss. This is a piss room. You can save. We can save. Obviously, like, if we speak first, we're gonna die. We're gonna get first thrown out the window. I'm gonna say, let's just. I'm just let her stew. Silence is only awkward if you care. I can ignore social cues all day long. I always liked this time of day. Not too muggy for you? No, I never had a clear, like the clear blue sky. It always seemed cold to me. You're in luck then. The sky gets more colorful every year. As the air quality drops. Childish, isn't it? Marveling at the small sheen of rainbow dancing on the surface of a massive oil spill. Apologies for waxing poetic. It's been a very unusual 24 hours around here. Dr. Young. Just Miss is fine. Miss Young. I get the feeling you didn't bring me here to talk about the weather. No, I brought you up here to express my condolences. I am very sorry for your loss. Yeah, thank you. Though I could say the same. I know you and David worked together for many years. Yes, we did. But as much as I'd like to just drop everything and process, the company wheels don't just stop spinning for anything. Or anyone. Was Dawes of any help? She sent him? Trying to be helpful or just trying to control the narrative? Oh, he was great. But that must mean you know why I'm here. Oh, I don't want to make assumptions. No need, I'll be explicit. I was here as an officer of the court, which means I'm bound by law to document every rock I turn over, and every person I speak to. Yes, the lawyers made that all very clear. Lawyers? You have an android? It's not one of ours. Oh, you can tell that quickly. Got all the faces memorized? It's easy enough just to remember the major archetypes we use, yes. If you're nuts about your work, maybe. It's a recent acquisition. Very recent, in fact. One of David's last requests, apparently. David asked you to take it? Huh. I've been told you've been to David's estate already. The police gave me full access to the scene. Then you know he was alone last night. Yes, there was a single witness who met with him and called emergency services when he fainted. I was that witness. Oh. Water glass got updated from that. Ah. Piss mentioned. Hi, Mother HRT. It's still pretty bright, yeah. Really? Obviously. There aren't many other people that David would bother meeting with in person, let alone welcoming them into his home and offering them a drink. I also knew that Young was his superior on paper, if not in fame. And I knew that the witness had Executive Plan 3 insurance, so they had to be higher up than David. Well then, do your lawyers know we're having this conversation? Yes, of course. They're pulling their hair out about it as we speak. I can't imagine why. The police cleared you. And you are well within your rights to ask for some privacy, given the high-profile nature of all that's happened. So why call me up here? Why cut through all the red tape that your lawyers painstakingly hid you behind? Eventually, you or some clever lawyer like you would get the record opened, through legal means or otherwise. The company's enemies are legion. Oh, ad break. Here, hold. Maybe I'll be here. Maybe our BRB and it's 1 a.m. So like, I probably won't go too much longer. I'll let you get to the end of the scene. Yeah. Okay. We're back. Hello. Okay. Yeah, I'm tired. Not super tired. Actually, no, I am super tired because I didn't sleep at all.
Wow.
My CPAP machine tells me I only got like at most 4 hours of sleep, but I know that I was lying with it for at least an hour, so I think probably only 3 hours of sleep. Good morning. Oh, Luna. Hey. Good morning, puppy. I hope that your day goes well. I know you have stuff to do in the morning. Good job getting up. 3 is better than 2. Yeah, 3 is better than getting no sleep. Good night to all your good kidding types. Good night. Good morning. Wow. Alright. I need to make a button for like when I want my game scene, but I want to be small. Need some rest? Yes. I'm only going to stream for less than another ad break. I'm going to try to end this scene, and then we will raid out from there. The company's enemies are legion, and they have the prying knife for every occasion. Still, that would have taken time. Time you could use to get ahead of what could be the biggest PR hurdle Noble's ever seen. Touche. And... So, perhaps the truth of the matter is that I simply didn't want to hide. David was my colleague for several years. If I were in your shoes, I would have questions as well. You're doing this for my sake? No, my reasons are purely selfish. I'm only hoping that talking to someone whose job isn't to defend me from all consequences might prove therapeutic. If she wants to play confessional, that's fine by me. But is that really all that's going on here? Why don't you start from the beginning then? You went to his home last night. Yes, around 7:30 p.m. The building's penumbra captured all that quite clearly. You feel ill around 8 p.m., so you spent half an hour together? Why the late call in person? We had an intense discussion yesterday afternoon. David never came in on Saturdays, and I didn't want to spend the weekend glaring at him through the screen, so I visited, and he let me in, and we talked. About the good old days, if you can believe that. Back when we were both new to the company, eager to make a name for ourselves. How long ago was that? 7 or 8 years ago. Miss Young. Putting a number on it, it doesn't sound that long ago, but it feels... We spent a while like that, just talking. It was lively and sharp, and I never would have thought that a few months later, that he would be dead. That he would commit suicide in front of me. Girl. Not so. Yeah, what is this conversation about, Miss Young? Hmm? Hmm? Firm reply. Yeah, that little sus. What happened? 8:15. He said he wanted to toast. He got up, walked back into his workshop, and then he must have went down to his basement to get us a bottle. I checked some messages in the meantime. Enjoyed the view. In other words, she stayed on camera. He came back up with a bottle of whiskey and 2 plastic cups. We drank, we talked. He got quieter, spoke less. I thought he was just getting drunk. I didn't get worried until he started to fall asleep. You tried to wake him. He wasn't responding. I tried to wake him awake, or shake him awake, but he didn't seem... I left him and ran to the kitchen to use the security system. You didn't think to use your phone? No. I suppose I didn't. But it worked out. The Penumbra's emergency protocol summoned a VTOL straight to his helipad with 1 button press. When I returned to the parlor, he was limp. I moved him to the floor, as delicately as I could. He had a heartbeat, but I just did what I could until they arrived. You went with them to the hospital, I take it? Yes, well, they insisted. They checked my vitals and ran a talk screen. Har starch bar. Ow. Ow. Welcome back. Hope you're doing right. Which came back clean. So did David's, for all that good it did him. I wasn't paying attention to what they were saying at that point, but I'm sure that they ran through every step of the CCE SOP. That's what they're paid to do. You seem certain it was suicide. Yes. Why? As I said, he got quieter as time passed, and he spoke less. But the last thing he said to me, the last clear thing he said to me, was that he was happy ending it here. He said he was content. And he downed his glass after that. He drank every last drop. Does that sound like David Asher to you? Curious, restless, perfectionist David? No, I guess it doesn't. Man, hi Yuki. Hi, how's it going? I'm doing well. We gotta actually hang out in VR chat at some point. I got a treat. Ow. Ow. Thank you. Sorry, you you Discord called me on accident? Oh my god. I didn't see that. Thank you. You yelled at me because you're live. Thankfully, I have Do Not Disturb on, so I did not get disturbed. Yuki, your treasure. That shakes head. Oh, that's great. Yes, we should actually hang out in VR chat at some point. Like, I'm kind of down anytime. Pretty much. My model's good. Or ready. I need to figure out how to get my hand tracking gloves working in VR chat, or even if that's possible. Not sure if it is. Yeah. 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 All right, here we go. You said a CCE standard operating procedure a moment ago. What is that? CCE. So CCE stands for counter-corporative espionage, which is just industry doublespeak for corporate espionage. Only used in self-defense, you understand. So Noble anticipates employees at your level getting poisoned. Oh yeah, they give us all kinds of CCE training. Subtly, of course, usually disguised on the itinerary as leadership workshops or psychiatric evaluations. They train you to expect to get murdered at these leadership workshops. Murder is fairly rare at our level. More likely, they'll want us too sick to work. Let us drain company resources in a hospital bed while our position sits vacant. That's smart. Like snipers purposely avoiding vital areas to strain the enemy's medical resources. Anything possible, yeah. That's terrible. Like snipers purposely avoiding vital areas in order to strain the enemy's medical resources. Sarah! Oh, Sarah's adorable. That's nothing compared to when they want to turn an asset. Feel ill for the rest of your life with an undiagnosable malady. Or become one of our mole and we'll send you the antidote every 2 weeks. Oh, Jesus. Wow, that's a nasty piece of work. And it's a nasty line of work. Consulting. I'm sorry. That's just what they call it. Can't exactly put corporate spy in your CV. So every consultant I ever met at a cocktail party was actually... Oh, it depends. Did they say that they were consultants? Or did they say that they were in consulting? How the hell am I supposed to remember? Do people actually think what happened to David was a deliberate attack? Noble's competitors have been trying to get David to for years, and that's time scale for their plans to operate on. If this was an attack from a rival corporation, the company would have seen it coming. And they'd probably have struck first. Ma. 10 days out of the fun portion, she would have been. Trust me, Android. I'm a consultant. Do we need to worry? Are you a consultant or are you in consulting? That's the question. I've been curious about this ever since I saw the scene. Why the plastic cups? There's a story there. David and I got hired on the same time under similar circumstances. Headhunted while finishing our higher education. I wasn't headhunted. Alice, why did you steal my brains? What's the difference? I don't know. Whether or not you're a spy? During recruiting, the company claimed to want us badly, but in practice, our actual authority was inexperienced and overpaid. We must have been extremely unpopular. Oh, you don't mince words. We didn't either back then. Ow! Hot. Uh-oh, hot dog. Water. Thank you, Yuki, for the big chat. We were loudly trying to convince our superiors that entire sales model for androids was antiquated and self-defeating. The two of them made the one-point doctrine. That's not the story I've heard in Noble commercials and Noble sponsored media. And come to think of it, it's not a story I've ever heard from David himself. We had this deadline, a self-imposed but still a deadline. We wanted to get our pitch to the president of the international sales by the end of the day. 7 p.m. rolls around and the people start filtering out. David still has his head buried in diagrams and sales figures. Imagine a technical man like him, a programmer, trying to make a sales pitch. The clock hits 9 and even the zombies start heading home. I turn to David, tell him that's not going to happen. We're nowhere near finished and that day is long been over. He looked at me like I'm the only other person on a sinking boat and I've just stopped pitching water and he says, the president on the other side of the globe. We've still got all night until lives in the other side of the globe. We've still got all night until his end of the day. We wrapped up at 4 a.m. Just us and the cleaning staff. Back then, only half of them were ads. He finally sends a message and I'm ready to collapse. I've got nothing. We stared blankly at his inbox for the next 40 minutes, hoping that the harsh light would give us the energy to work the next day. And we got a response. It wasn't long, but he showed he was interested. I had been turned down so many times before, ignored, placated, passed up, and ghosted, but together, David and I, we had finally gotten a win. So, David asks if I've got anything to drink. I've got a bottle of some swill in a cabinet at my desk, but he doesn't want to drink it from a bottle, says he wants a toast. So we sat there at 5:19 in the morning, toasting awful vodka to one another in cups we grabbed from the break room. Toasting our victory against a corporate beast. Between the lack of sleep and the drinking, the next day at work was hell. Sounds like a good memory. Plastic cups and liquor. That was our little ritual. Which means that that's something that she would have known to anticipate. Yeah, testing the hot dog water. Yuki, okay, important question, vital question. I need to know. Do you drink your hot dog water in a red plastic cup? I feel like this is the only real way to drink hot dog water. Like you wouldn't put it into a wine glass. It's like you don't want to fake it with some weird upclassing bullshit. No, it's like you put it right in the red cup, right? Only mix it with tomato juice. Yeah, on my way to drink it. Yeah, delicious. Oh, it's a hot dog Collins. You've heard of Tom Collins, but let me introduce you to the hot dog Collins. Oh wait, no, Top Dog Collins. There we go. Do you have your hot dog water with chocolate starfish? But I like to put chocolate syrup ice cubes. Wait, chocolate syrup ice cubes sounds like a cool idea though. Wait, I've never heard of that or done that before, but that should work, right? Chocolate ice cubes? Chloe is cute. Chloe cute. Hot dog water, tomato juice, and vodka. Breakfast of champions. I was considering getting breakfast on my way. Oh no, I'm sorry. Plastic cups and liquor. That was our little ritual tonight. That is evidence. That is evidence. Oh, girl, you are like suspect number 1 right now. Because this means that you could have put that poison in there at any time. That was your ritual, which means that you would have known when the next time that they were going to be drinking. And we also are getting some idea that like, hey, they were not, or like she might have gotten like either ousted from the company or like not given the fame that David was when she was right there. So she might be jealous. She was on camera, but was she on camera the day that she put the poison in? The whole time. But she could have put the poison in at any time in the past, is what I mean. It's what I'm thinking. If it was their ritual to drink with the red cups and she was confident she wouldn't do it otherwise, she could put the poison in like the last time they had the drink, which could have been like a month ago. Months ago. Maybe something that activated once it like contacted the liquid. She also drank a cup from a cup, yes. But maybe she had a way to like, no, I don't know. I guess this kind of falls apart because like there's nothing to say that like that Asher would have used these exact cups. Clearly she has been like spending her whole life training herself to be completely resistant to this poison. It's the only way to live. Legit frothing. I'm gonna keep playing. I know you want to say so much. That's the thing about mystery stuff like this, where like, oh, somebody starts theorizing, you're like, oh, like, holy shit, like, I could be totally wrong. I could be totally right. I could be half right. I'm just like, oh, but like, I'm missing this one thing. If I just knew this one thing, I could put the puzzle together. But now I'm gonna be like, nah, this is just a crackpot theory, and like, it means nothing. So I'm gonna forget about it now. So I didn't think twice when he presented me with my cup. Oh, she has her own cup. Wait. Wait. In the end, the murder was Sue anyways. Hi, Flame Lord. Welcome in. Also, yeah, what if it's the ice cubes? What if the poison was in the ice cubes? Ice cubes could have been prepared beforehand. Yuki! Sorry, it took me a second to process. Thank you, Yuki. Thank you to Prime Gaming. Thank you. I know. This is fit, because I watched... Wait, hold on. Hold on. I swear I still know this riff. Hold on, where's my guitar pick? No, is it drop D? No, it's not. It's not. It's not gonna come to mic. Hold on. How do I need to like play this louder? I need my pick. Why do I always lose these? I'm barely even playing anymore. Why don't I? Oh, it's right here. I haven't done this in a long time. I know the Wait, I know the pieces fit, cause I watched them tumble down. Wait, no, hold on. No, this is the intro. Where does the actual verse start? I need to practice this. It's not gonna be peak. Whatever. Anyways, good song. I like Tool. Happy birthday. It's not my birthday. It's
Yes,
not.
yes.
No, it's not. It's not my birthday. Yuki, do you know when my birthday is? Ma. Today? Oh, okay. Thank you. Does that mean I'm 32 now? Wait, no, that's not right. Oh, does that mean I'm 33 now? What is it? Where does it go from there? I recommended this game, and now I'm just getting so insane. I thought 36. Oh, yeah, I'm at 36. I'm gonna hit 35 this year. I'm not mentally ready for it. Don't. It's just like 34, which was just like 33. Don't worry about it. I know the pieces fit. I watch them tumble down. Mildew, smoldering, fundamental differing. Pure intention juxtaposes. Wait, no. Pure intention juxtaposes. God damn it. Oh, I'm not getting to say happy birthday to you on stream, Nody. It's like happy almost birthday. Happy almost birthday to you. That's awesome. We'll set to lovers, souls in motion, differing, and as they grow. Communication. So, I don't know. Just try my best to remember. I should surprise to forget the lyrics of this. It was ceremony for us. Okay, did I get into evidence too? Yes. She said her cup. She said specifically her cup. Small plastic cup with small amount of whiskey left in it, found upright in their dining room table at the scene of the crime. Saliva and fingerprints match Helen Young. Okay, no traces of foreign elements. Yeah. So I didn't think twice when he presented me with my cup. And it was ceremony. So no. She does have her own specific cup, which means their little ritual involves specific cups, and she had her own cup that she and David would distinguish from David's cup. So she absolutely could have planted poison in there and effectively had a landmine to go off whenever she wanted. Gotta love Tool Stick. That's one of my favorite, my go-to songs for drop D noodling. I do too. Yeah. I'm getting the sense that we share a lot of things that we are both like, yeah, this fucking rules about. As VP of Android Futures, you're David's superior, aren't you? That's correct. Didn't he run the company around the same time? David was always more interested in his work than he was in climbing the ladder. Wait, so yeah, no, but she wouldn't be jealous because she works above him. Hobbs. It's late. Do you want Pops? I leave. Like 10 minutes to take a trashes out. What have you done to Alice's innocent stream? Yeah, I mean, here, hold on. Where's my... This one? This one? This one? There we go. Is this that innocent?
Yes.
Hobbs. Well, I don't have a hand tracking right now because it would go all over the place here, but Hobbs and leggies. New shirt, yeah, I got the shirt on here. My boobs stretched it out a little bit, but yeah. Guess what? What's up, Yuki? What's up? It's Dare. Dun, 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 dun. Ah, dun, 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 dun. Wait, isn't it the story behind those lyrics and that's the song, the lyrics, right? It's that like it's somebody going, it's coming up, it's coming up, it's coming up, and then it's there, but like almost like or the way that he talked just comes out like dare. Did I get a cookie? I did. Ow, ow. Thank you. David was always more interested in his work than he was in climbing the ladder. He didn't like playing the corporate politics game, so he was unpopular around here. Not unpopular, no. Not the great Dr. David Asher. Misunderstood, perhaps. How so? He could be blunt, demanding, some might say. He wasn't trying to be, it's just... Not everyone could work at the same pace as he did, for as long as he did. In the whole company huffing down those inhalers, they couldn't keep pace with David. Speaking of which, I don't see any at Jung's desk. It was just something he'd leave out in the open. Or not something he'd leave out in the open at her level. So you would say that his work-life balance was... balance applies to our odds with one another. We use work-life harmony here at the company. Oh. Yes. Yes, make sure you have a healthy work-life harmony about you as you go through your stages and through the company. Oops. Trust me, you definitely share a lot of things with Dry. I feel like the singer has had to say Gex before his lyrics. I'm thinking. What's a gay Tool song? What's the most... Yeah, that's such toxic Corpo, yeah. You were thinking about gay Tool songs? Were you thinking about Maynard and his wine orchid? Yeah, I was thinking Stinkfist, but like... Yeah, I think it's... Finger deep in the borderline. I mean, possibly. I feel like I'm gonna see something better. I guess prison sex. Yeah, I guess prison sex is probably the one that gets into it the most. Certainly not the cookie recipe. Have a happy Halloween. Yeah, let's hang soon. Yeah, that'd be great. Have some good game time. Okay, now that we're talking about Tool, can I share a random Tool tidbit? Fun fact, did you know that there's an early Rage Against the Machine track, or even like a demo of a track, I think? Or no, maybe on the first album. But there's an early Rage Against the Machine track that has Maynard singing in it. Things like vocals kind of in the background in one of the songs. I can't remember which one. But I think like they were all around the same area when they were doing the first album. Yeah, we hell yeah. Thank you. I always appreciate Yuki's from the antics. Well, it's Christmas now. Soon it's gonna be Easter. They'll come back back around to my birthday and then Halloween. You know, having a birthday in July would be a lot better than having it in February because like February is really cold all the time. Fascinating. So was he in harmony? No. David always had plenty of suitors, but he was never willing to put the time in. But I'm sure you're more knowledgeable than I am on that subject. Right. What do you mean? I had to help him draft a lot of apology notes over the years for misunderstandings and double bookings. Scandalous. If it's 90s alt rock, is there a chance to know it? this other tidbit that's unrelated, but it's similar vein of just like here's an interesting thing about alt rock. But I had this memory because I was for some reason these two things I always remember when I'm thinking about like, oh, here's some like fun band fact I know. Did you know that Radiohead's Creep like that I mean, I think on some level it's known that they all hated the song. But like the origin of that song is Tom York getting drunk as as they started getting popular initially, he like went to the bar and got drunk and like tried to pick up girls and got turned down. And when he was wasted, he got home and like wrote Creep in his drunken like rejection spiral. And then afterwards woke up and like felt disgusted by it and hated it. But then their manager eventually found it and was like, this you have to do the song, and kind of forced their hand. Uh, so like none of them wanted to do the song. They all hated it, but like they were forced, like basically, I guess not forced, but like some amount of chorus or pressure to do it anyways, because like I guess the manager knew it was gonna be big. Um, and the scratching you hear, like that, you know how the guitar goes like at the beginning of the chorus? That is Johnny Greenwood low key trying to sabotage the guitar or sabotage the song with like just shitty guitar noise. That accidentally just went hard. If I already had tours, I will be going to Europe to see them. That'd be cool. Someone has an August birthday. It's not that much fun. It's way too hot to do anything. Yeah, I guess it's probably fair. Maybe like 10, 15 years ago, July would have been nice for a birthday in Ontario, but like, yeah, it gets pretty hot here now. The AI-16 only entered production this year, correct? Correct. The pre-order started last holiday, and we began shipping in the first quarter. I understand that you're instrumental in the success of Warm Androids. I played my part in supervising launch, yes. Weren't you the one who designed serotonin? The factor that enabled communication between synthetic and organic parts? I'm surprised you've heard of that. I did lead the project, yes, but that was years ago. At the time, serotonin was little more than a novelty, a dead end. It wasn't until David took the reins of the A16 that we found a use for it. Took the reins. He was lead programmer of limb coordination, facial expression, exhaustion parameters. In the time ago, I was like Kurt Cobain, nah, we're not gonna ruin Creep with more noise. Yeah, no, they were not. And he designed the synthetic nerves that made all of that possible. David did all that? That's a lot more than just programming. Is he always so gifted in that many fields? Did he fill those roles in the A14 or A15? No. He used to stick steadfast to his role as a software architect. That was his field of expertise, and he didn't wander far. But 2 or 3 years back, he started sitting on other departments, taking notes. Soon, he was joining discussion, proposing new ideas, and eventually, they came to follow his lead. Just like that. Just like that. So he just applied himself, and soon he was leading other departments. Yeah, that's the kind of genius that David Asher was. Maybe they weren't paying him enough. The company profited the most, of course, but the entire industry benefited from his vision and leadership. His loss will be felt for years. I know. I'm just as crazy about music as this game. You're good. You're good. You're great. You do not need to apologize. Never apologize for that. That gives us more motive. I probably shouldn't be thinking about this, like having this interaction, like trying to find reasons or justification for her being the murderer, but like David, like that would explain why, like on some level, she would have been fine with their working relationship, but something would like put that in turmoil and they caused disruption there, right? If before he sustained his lane and she had a lot of power in this industry and was like at the top, but then he started to throw his weight in different areas, especially in areas that she had done things before, that she had started or tried to like make a name for herself in, and he comes along, picks up the pieces and is able to do something with it and get all the recognition and fame for that. Right? While technically she's above him, that is a power dynamic there, or like probably some just toe stepped on. She's so sus. She's so, yeah. So this android, Sarah, even Dawes couldn't find any real details on where it came from. It's not in any of our systems. I'm afraid not. Did David ever talk to you or anyone at the company about a pet project? Pet? No. No, he never gave me any indication like that. And if he didn't talk to me about it, I seriously doubted he confided in anyone else at the company. David didn't trust anyone higher on the chain than himself and anyone below him. Frankly, they couldn't possibly hope to give him advice. He never mentioned me? No, never. Androids don't come cheap. You've never heard about him requisitioning parts or resources? There were never any discrepancies with his company credit card? Oh, the company accountants are mirthless even by industry standards. They wouldn't humor anybody, not even David Asher. If they had ever detected financial discrepancies, there would have been an uproar loud enough you could hear from the mailroom. You have a mailroom? Not since the 30s. Just a figure of speech. Oh. Oh my god, she's precious. He couldn't have taken resources from the company without leaving a record, but no one would deny Dr. David Asher information. He would have been able to obtain all the necessary data to build his own android. Then, with enough time and money, he could privately purchase the raw materials himself. I don't understand. It must have taken him years to build Sarah. He wasn't doing anything illegal. Except the hacking stuff. So why keep a secret? I don't know. But he was private and a perfectionist. Perhaps he simply wasn't proud of his results. Could be. Well, thanks for taking the time to talk to me. I'm sure this has been a difficult day for you. A difficult day for all of us. Message from Fran. I'm running out of Lisa Chase. I better have some good news. Are you really going to take this to court? Oh yeah, that's my plan. The circumstances may be irregular, but I'm still defending a client from a criminal charge. It is my responsibility to argue that he's not guilty of what he's been accused of. And is that what you believe? That he didn't commit suicide? I guess I haven't decided what I believe. How fucking dare you say that in front of her young? Mean. The only thing overthinking about that kind of stuff will do is drive yourself crazy and wait days until you keep going, I know. It's gonna be Sunday. Okay, but I had to finish Sunday then. Basically, the plan is that no matter what on Sunday, we're gonna finish the game. Chapter 1. Would you kindly slow the hell down? I'm sorry, Adonai. Was I walking too quickly for you? That wasn't walking. That was speed walking. Up 2 flights of stairs. It's very different. Speed walking. Sounds like a powerful technique. Is it like the Zenjayo? Just let me catch your breath for a minute. Adonai, is it possible that you are out of shape? No. But since you left the cab, your heart rate has... I'm not wearing the right clothes. Or the right shoes. Is that so? Yes. Also, I didn't stretch or hydrate, and the sun is reaching its zenith. That would have been several hours ago. Do you mean the air temperature? You said it would be a short walk from street level, so I prepared myself mentally for a short walk. Then you took off like a rocket, and you didn't mention we'd have to go upstairs. Are you sure this place is even back here? The reviews online said they were quite clear. It's worth a chill finding. Wait, I shouldn't start a new chapter. We should stop. I should go to bed. There's an ad break on me. I can't keep going. Right? Oh god, I want to keep flying. Like My sister Sarah, she has no filter. To the pillow run with the, yeah. It is almost 2 a.m. Does it break in 4 minutes tops? Okay. Okay, I trust you. We go. The reviews online were quite clear. It's worth the trouble finding it. Maybe if you're a mountain climber. When I sent Fran fronting for a musician in David's City Circles, I expected them to bring me someone from the city orchestra or jazz club. The champagne flute and the teacups kind of musician. But this is the owl. Wah! Jesus. That's the goddess asleep. I can't sleep anymore. But this is the tequila and neon part of town. It should be in view if we turn. Adonai, be careful. Of what? It's a stray. And it's bearing its fangs, too. Oh, it's just a puppy. To be careful. No, it's not just a puppy. To be carrying diseases, you should relax. Adonai, it's growling. It's not growling at me. See? So it's just that it doesn't like me? Too much static. How'd you get it to calm down? It's an animal, not a monster. It wants to be calm. Do you like animals? What kind of cold-blooded freak doesn't like animals? Says the serial killer. Do you have a pet? No, never have. Why not? Because I don't want to take care of a pet. That seems counterintuitive to me. Well, it makes perfect sense to me, and I don't need to make sense. I don't need it to make sense to you. But you notice you're only just talkative when it's just the two of us. Just an observation. You shy or something? Did David program you to have an Android anxiety? It's generally only appropriate to respond to comments that are addressed to oneself. Today, as I have rarely been addressed directly by other people other than you. In other words, you're shy. That's not what I... Can I try petting it? There is no law against it. And we love her for that. Okay, that's a break. That's the break. That's the save point. We got there. We made it. There. Thank you. Lock phone. That's not how you quit. Quit the game. Yes. Save the game. Quit game. Go to sleep. Ow. Wow. Thank you all for... Wow, there's a lot of frames on this screen. Holy shit. Well, let me just quit the game. There we go. Thank you for hanging out. And you're all great. And I hope you have a good night. I'm gonna go to sleep. Luna, I hope you're able to get some sleep later. Like, you have a day of stuff, I'm sure, and then I hope that you're able to, like, actually sleep later on. Because you didn't get much sleep. I guess I didn't get much sleep this night either, so... Can we start hard? Yeah, I was just thinking start hard. Yes! Star Heart's so lovely. Wow. Good question about raid message. I don't know. Nom. That works. And we can bully Seahorse. It's possible that, like, the raid Starheart will eventually lead to Seahorse. If not, we can also just go to Seahorse's channel and bully them there too. I'll probably go and stop in and say hi. A little bit later. I'm gonna go get some water and lie down on the couch. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you everybody for being here. At 2 a.m. Jeez, why do I stay up so late? What am I doing? Chris, you mentioned not look at the chat long enough to not take 4 minutes. I did it. I was like, okay. Well, honestly, having the ad break coming up, it was a good motivation to not get distracted. You vibing? Yeah. Yeah, we vibing. Good night. Good night, trans night. Oh wait, by the way. Can I do this fast enough? There you go. Here's a quick shout out. Good night, everybody. Take care. Sleep well. Bye.